Stand! I'm going to save it for tomorrow. Up! New York Giant fans. You know I had to go live. You know I had to go live the night before a playoff game. I may go live the day of the playoff game as well, before the playoff game, leading up to the playoff game, maybe at noon. Who knows? We'll see how I feel going into tomorrow. But I got to come on here. I got to talk about this game coming up. We'll talk about, I guess, the playoff game. I don't really care about the game going on right now. Looks like Trevor Lawrence is selling in his first playoff game as the Chargers lead 10-0 over there. I think he's throwing 2 interceptions. Doug Peterson, not the best of decisions, going for it on 4th and 7 in field goal range, but that's what Dougie P's been throughout his career. He's always been an aggressive head coach. In the first game, what I expected. I've said all offseason that going into the year, rather, that I thought the Niners were going to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. That, of course, was not with Brock Purdy. At the time, I was thinking Trey Lance because I saw the surrounding roster that the 49ers had, saw a quarterback with upside, and thought that they were the class to the NFC. I still think they're the class to the NFC, even with Brock Purdy at the quarterback position. But we'll worry about that as Giants fans when we get there. We got a ways to go. We got to win 2 games before we got to worry about the San Francisco 49ers. And the first game starts tomorrow against the Minnesota Vikings. I cannot wait. First playoff game since 2016 as the Giants take on the Vikings. Haven't won a playoff game since our last Super Bowl. And I'm excited. I'm beyond excited. I'm over the moon excited. And I think we got a really good chance to win tomorrow, as I've expressed all week. If we get enough people in here, I'm sure we will. These usually fill up quick. Probably have a couple of people come on via video. I want the fans to get an opportunity to call in and talk about the game. I'm sure you guys are as excited as I am leading up, but I'll probably talk to the chat for about an hour. And then bring in some callers for about an hour as we get ready for the playoff game tomorrow. But I want to say hello to everybody. Brandon Weezus, man, thank you so much, man, for being a new member, man. I appreciate it, man. You had 4 hours of sleep. Well, I appreciate you for being here. I'm not going to sleep much tonight. Stand up, new member. Welcome to the squad, Brandon Weezus, man. I appreciate it, man. And Robbie says, Kenny Golladay action tomorrow, over under 15 snaps. I'm going to go with the under. I don't think Kenny Golladay is going to be very involved in the game plan. Maybe gets a couple of targets. But he was playing with the backups last week, right? Because that's what he is at this point. He is a backup. So I wouldn't expect too much from Kenny Golladay. Obviously, Daniel Jones has built a rapport with Hodgins, with Slayton, with Richie James. Those are the guys we're going to go to battle with tomorrow. I wouldn't expect Kenny Golladay to be a big part of the game plan. Maybe I'll be wrong, but that's not what I'm expecting going into tomorrow. What's going on there, Donnie C, man? What's going on there, King Trizzy? What's going on there, Amazing Guy? What's going on there, House Music? Dustin Mosley in the chat, Dire Giants fan in the chat. What's up, Anime in the chat? Who else we got in here? We got Jeremy Ortega. We got Eric Garrison. We got Amazing Guy in the chat. We got Davey in the chat. We got Stevie Mack in the chat. Sean in the chat. What's going on there, Floyd? What's going on there, Super Necessary? What's going on there, Dark Wolf? I missed all you guys. Thank you for being here. Sports Influencer, by the way, if you guys haven't done so, he's been a subscriber of mine forever. Been on my channel forever. And great kid. Got to meet him in person. He does highlight videos. And he showed it to me today on Twitter. Did a great job. That video blew up, dude. You got over 100,000 views or something like that. Something ridiculous, but that was a great video. Definitely got me hyped up going into the game. So thank you for all the support you show on the channel, and thank you for being a great New York Giants fan. What's going on there? Monkey Man, he says, what's up there, DJ? Good to see you. McCann in the chat. Daniel Murray in the chat. Giants Nation in the chat. Good to see you, man. Michael says, I'm going to lose my damn voice. You're going to the game? Now, it's crazy, man, because I've been popping in and out of these Twitter lives all week, and I don't normally do a lot of the Twitter lives, but I enjoy going in there because you get to conversate with passionate, loyal, dedicated New York Giants fans, and I've had so much fun in those Twitter lives. Plan on going in and out of those in the future as well. Whether or not we win this week, it's just great to conversate with all you guys. And so many people in those Twitter lives were saying that they were going to the game, so it seems like there's gonna be a lot of New York Giants fans at the game against Minnesota, and we're going to need it. You know they're going to be loud, especially after what Nick Gates had to say. So if you're a Giants fan and you're going, make some noise and represent True Blue, man. What's going on? And I see Matthew says Brock Purdy. What a great story. Great story. Also a clear indicator of what I've said since I've been on YouTube. It helps when you have a good surrounding roster. But a good story nevertheless. But it's a team game, and the San Francisco 49ers have shown that. Did Trevor Lawrence just throw another pick, or was that incomplete? I got the game on my phone. Are you kidding me? threw another pick. Trevor Lawrence has 3 interceptions in the first quarter. And I had people in the Twitter live today, and there's been people all over Twitter all week saying how elite of a quarterback this guy is, how he's God's get. And listen, the guy's supremely talented. I think he's going to be a damn good quarterback. But my God, holy crap, he's got 3 interceptions in the first quarter. Wow, horrible. What's going on? Nona Manning's popping in. What's going on there? Mary Walsh. Tommy G says, curse of having Evan Ingram on your team. I just know it. Oh, you're talking about the Jaguars? I just think Trevor Lawrence is in his first playoff game choking. And he certainly got the talent to get them back in this game. But even last week, he didn't look good. The defense carried them to the playoffs. Of course, the quarterback gets all the credit, but the defense last week against the Titans is what saved him and the Jaguars and why they're even playing in the playoffs. And it's why I actually thought the Jaguars stood a good chance to win this game today. And obviously, that doesn't look to be the case with the way that Trevor Lawrence is playing early on in this ball game. And now the Chargers are going to have looks like a 3rd and 1 at the 7. Again, I'm on a delay, so I don't know where they're going to mark that. They may have already scored a touchdown for all I know, but 1:17 to go from what I see in the first quarter, and it looks like the Chargers are about to punch it in for at least 3 more points, if not more, in the first quarter. Ingram Butterfingers, man. What's going on there? Joshua Cohen. G-Men are taking down Minnesota tomorrow. I sure hope so, man. Sean says, I'm excited to see what a complete defensive squad does tomorrow. Sports Bias says, 1 was a tip, 1 was pass interference, 3rd was terrible. 3 interceptions is 3 interceptions. At the end of the day, Sports Bias, think about this. Trevor Lawrence in one quarter, has thrown 60% of the amount of interceptions that Daniel Jones threw in 16 games. 3/5 of Daniel Jones' yearly interceptions were thrown in one quarter from Trevor Lawrence in his first playoff game. Think about that. What's going on there? Jacob says, Tana, is Hodgins okay? I heard he might have injured his ankle. From what I heard, it sounds like he's going to play. We'll see. But it sounds like he's going to play tomorrow. There hasn't been any word that he's going to have to sit out or anything like that. So sounds like he's going to play. What's up there? Danny Cardoni says, damn, yeah. Stand up. What's going on there? Joey Lutz, man, thanks for popping in. Shane Ole says, I hope DJ balls out tomorrow and shuts out all the media. We're going to need it. But again, I hope he plays from within the game plan. I hope he plays from within the game plan. I hope he doesn't force throws. Just play from within the game plan. If that means that he throws for $190, we run the ball, we win the football game, that's it. I just don't want play it like it's any other week. Don't try to go out there and put up stats if it's not what's best for the football team. What's going on there, John? Ian, man, thank you very much, man. I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully, Adoree plays. That would be a game changer. I also believe Coach Dable will get Coach of the Year. Coach Dable absolutely should get Coach of the Year. I don't know if he will, but he absolutely should. It would be a crime if he didn't with what he was able to overcome this year with all the injuries on the defense and everything else. I mean, Brian Dable absolutely should win Coach of the Year. We'll see if he gets it, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I mean, the guy tonight could win it. Peterson's done a good job with the Jaguars. There's other candidates, but I think Dable should absolutely win Coach of the Year. I've said that. I mean, I think most Giant fans think that. Chris, man, what's going on, man? I'm excited for our guy Saquon to blow out tomorrow. I think Saquon's going to be the featured guy tomorrow. I do. I think they've been resting him now for 2 weeks. They didn't use him too much in the Colts game. He had about 13 carries. Didn't play him the previous week. Obviously because we were already in the playoffs. I think he's going to be the focal point of the offense tomorrow. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. I expect Saquon to have at least 25 touches tomorrow between catches and runs. I'm thinking closer to 30. I could see something like 21 carries, 7 catches. Like I think he's going to be very involved in the offense tomorrow, and I think he's going to have a monster game. Big Moose says, F anyone else, let's just talk about our opportunity that lies ahead of us tomorrow. Well, listen, guys, we know if we win tomorrow, based off of what happened today, what's in front of us. So what did you guys think about that, how that turned out? Obviously, we're just thinking about Minnesota right now. We got to win the game. But if we win, we get another crack at the Philadelphia Eagles. I kind of like that. I've been saying it all week. I'd be lying to you if I thought that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a better, a harder matchup than the Philadelphia Eagles would be. No, I'd be lying to you, or the Cowboys. But the Eagles finished the year weak. They're coming out of their bye. In prior history, you think back to 2011 with the Packers when they went 15-1 when they played us. They looked sloppy coming out of the bye. I feel like we got a chance maybe to pick them off. We'll see, but we got to get there first. We got to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Huge game tomorrow. And I think we stand a really good chance. We'll talk about it throughout the stream, but I've said it all week. I think the defensive line is a huge plus for us going up against their offensive line. I think that's where this game is going to be won for the New York Giants if we're going to win it. I think we'll be able to create turnovers against Kirk. Hopefully he pulls a Trevor Lawrence and he throws 3 interceptions in the first quarter tomorrow. That'd be great. But I don't expect it, man. What's up there, EJ, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Sean says Danny didn't run much in the first game. Yes. I think they're going to do whatever they got to do to win. So if that means Daniel Jones has to go out there and run for 120 yards, that's exactly what he's going to do. I don't know if that's what the game plan is going to be, but yes, I think it's no holds barred. You're not going to hold back in a game like this. Daniel Jones is going to put his body on the line, and the New York Giants are going to do what they have to do in order to win this football game. So I would not be surprised at all if Daniel Jones has 70, 80, 90, 100 yards rushing tomorrow, going up against the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Giants are going to run the ball more than the first time they did. Let me pull up the stats real quick, because the first time we played the Minnesota Vikings, and we threw all over them, Daniel Jones had one of his best games of the year, threw for the most yards I think he had in a game. Maybe it was the Lions game, but I think it was the most yards he had in a game. If not, it was the second most, and he had, I think, like 330 yards, but we threw the ball 42 times, and we only ran the ball 21. So we ran the ball 33% of the time, as opposed to 67. And I understand that Minnesota is not the best in terms of coverage. But I think tomorrow you're going to see a bit more of balance. I think the Giants are going to try to run the ball a bit more than they did the first time around, whether that be more with Jones, who I think only had 3 or 4 carries, or whether that be more with Barkley. But I expect it to be more balanced. I still think we're going to have success throwing the football, but I think we'll be a more balanced offense than we were the first time around against the Minnesota Vikings. I think we'll do a better job in terms of the time of possession. We actually lost the time of possession last time by almost 2 minutes. And when we played the Vikings last time, our third down defense wasn't very good. They converted 6 of 13. We were only 3 of 11. So there's things that we can improve on coming out of that game. Of course, we had the 3 turnovers. We had the interception by Jones. You had the fumble by Bellinger, and then you had the block punt, which might as well have been a turnover. If not for that, the New York Giants run away with that football game. So we got to play a clean game tomorrow. I'm not as worried about the special teams as I would be in another game, because the game's in a dome. And I'm pretty sure, let me go back and look. I think every one of Gano's kicks were touchbacks, because there's no wind involvement. He was able to kick it through the out of the end zone every play. So I don't expect any kick returns in this game. I think that they're going to tell Gano, just kick it out of the end zone. Let me take a quick look. Actually, it doesn't say. It should somewhere, but I don't think they had any. Maybe they had 1 or 2 kick returns, but the majority of them went out of the end zone. So I'm not too worried about that going into this game. The punt coverage is certainly a weakness, and our special teams overall has been horrible. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Ernie says, see the news, Eagles used illegal item to help. I didn't read into it. I saw the headline for it. I didn't get an opportunity to read it. It was all over Twitter. Supposedly the Eagles did something regarding extra points and field goals that was illegal. I don't know the specifics. I'm not surprised. The Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, what do you expect? It's the Eagles. It's Philadelphia. It's the most disgusting place in the world. What do you expect from their fans? They're horrible people. Robbie, man, thank you very much, man. I saw people saying last week for Kenny Golladay, Dable played him every single snap so he could prove to Dable he could be a contributor in the playoffs. Makes sense. We'll see. I don't expect it. I'm not saying he won't see the field at all, but I don't expect Kenny Golladay to have some super expanded role, out of this game. I'd be surprised. I don't expect that. I'd be very surprised if Kenny Golladay has 7 or 8 targets in this football game. Hodges has played too well. I know that he's a little bit dinged up. I think he's going to be out on the football field. Richie James, I think he leads the team in receiving yards, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously Slayton probably does. But those 3, I think will be the 3 main guys along with Bellinger. Divine says, I'm going to a sports bar with my 5-year-old son. Watch the game. Guess who I'm going to listen to on YouTube because the TV volume is off. Well, I appreciate that, Divine, man. Hopefully, you feed off the emotions that Bad Dog and myself have. I'm super pumped up for it. I know Bad Dog is as well. And I can't wait, man. Hopefully you have fun with your son at the bar, but hopefully I provide a little extra excitement. John, what's going on, man? So hyped for the game, man. Shout out to all the Big Blue Nation. Let's go playoffs. We deserve this, man. And John Burton's the man. Been a great supporter of mine forever. I talk to John whenever I can on Twitter. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, man, let's get this win tomorrow. I can't wait. Little Robbie says, your words, I would love to diminish their spirit. I would love that too. I would love that too. Madden says, if the Giants face the Eagles, we have a great chance. Remember the Super Bowl year, the Cowboys could do it one game at a time. And that's the mindset that the New York Giants are going to have. And that's the mindset that I think you should have if you're a fan of the New York Giants. One game at a time. Don't get too carried away. Of course, in the back of your head, you're always going to be thinking about the playoff possibilities. If a certain thing goes a certain way, how it's going to impact your potential road to the Super Bowl. That's just natural, right? In 2011, I remember watching somebody mentioned it today in the Twitter live today. I don't remember who it was, but I remember watching the 2011 divisional game with my friend who's a 49er fan, and he took offense to me because I was super excited that the San Francisco 49ers beat the Saints. But the truth of the matter is I felt that if we had to go to New Orleans, we probably weren't going to win. I mean, we played the Saints that year. They destroyed us. We ended up beating the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. So as a fan, you're always looking around at your potential possibilities if you get a win or two. We're not players. We're not part of the, we're not, I always say fans are part of the team, but what we look at and feel is not going to impact the game. So I don't want the players thinking that way, but it's one game at a time. And, we'll worry about the path to the Super Bowl after we win tomorrow. I'm not, right now we know we got the Eagles. That's our path. We got the Eagles if we win tomorrow. So it's cut and dry, and we'll see after that if we're able to beat Philadelphia. Let's see what we got. And a Madman, thank you very much. Let's see what we got. Jonathan says, man, Trevor is struggling. First playoff game for him, and he's not performing good. Hope DJ is the exact opposite. I mean, there were signs of this last week. I don't know if you watched the Jaguars game last week, and I'm a fan of Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is really talented. He didn't look good last week. The Jaguars defense carried them last week. So I'm surprised he threw 3 picks in the first quarter, but I'm not surprised he's struggling. I didn't think he threw 3 picks, though. But I think Jones will be fine because I don't think they're going to put too much on Daniel Jones's plate. I think they're going to play with a good game plan. They're going to play within the frame of the scheme. They're also not going up against a very good defense in the Minnesota Vikings. Could be a harsh environment with the crowd, and they do have some good pass rushers. Evan Neal, you worry about that a bit, especially the way he's played down the stretch. So there's certainly some concerns going into this game. But Daniel Jones, to me, has been consistent all year. I'm not telling you he's going to go out there and throw for 350 yards and 7 touchdowns. He doesn't have what Brock Purdy has. Do you see the team that Brock Purdy has around him? He's throwing to Deebo Samuel. He's throwing to Brandon Ayuk. He's throwing to George Kittle. He's throwing to Christian McCaffrey. He doesn't have that. So I don't expect him to go out there and do what Brock Purdy did today. But I expect him to go out there and have a good performance and give us an opportunity to win the football game. I think he will. I think he's going to play fine. I'm not worried about him. Philip Enning says, I want to hear crickets in Skull Nation tomorrow. Let's go, man. Can't wait. Andrew says, my man, let's get this win. Gonna need a few beers to level me out. Let's go, man. And Nate says, defense and a great running game has worked in the past. Listen, that's how we won our Super Bowl in 2007, for sure. 2011, yeah, we had to rely a lot more on Eli Manning's arm. We all know that. He threw for the most yards in the history of a single playoff. We didn't have that good of a ground attack that year, but the other Giant Super Bowls, absolutely. It was about establishing the ground attack, relying on that defense, and you could win football playing that way. The 49ers went all the way to the NFC title game last year playing that way. I personally think the 49ers are going to go all the way to the Super Bowl this year playing that way. And I know Purdy threw for 300 yards, but that's still a team that's built around their defense, built around the ground game. So, yeah, you could absolutely win football games in the playoffs. You can win Super Bowls in the playoffs without having a Pat Mahomes as your quarterback. It's Max, man. Thank you very much, man. Glad the Seahawks lost, won another shot at Philly. Let's go. We got to beat Minnesota to do it. Robbie says, Soda will be loud. We will hear their cries here. And Big Daddy says, we need to send Captain Kirk into space. Got to get after him. I think it's a good matchup for our defense because he's not the type of quarterback that's going to be able to extend plays with his legs, right? He's a guy that wants to stand in the pocket. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not a guy that's going to beat you with his legs if you overcommit as a defense. So if we get good interior pressure, I think we're going to be able to create some damage against Kirk Cousins in tomorrow's game. I really do. Obviously, you worry about Justin Jefferson, but it's going to come down to getting pressure, much like we did against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. If we could get quick pressure on him, it's definitely going to disrupt this game. So we'll see if Dexter Lawrence, if Leonard Williams can get the job done up front. I think they're going to be able to. I really do. I think both of those guys are going to show up tomorrow in a big way. Michi, man, thank you. He says, hope DJ don't turn into Trevor Lawrence tomorrow. I don't think he will. I really don't think he will. We got to get these negative thoughts out of our heads, guys. We got to get these negative thoughts out of our heads, guys. Trevor Lawrence, I just said it, in the first quarter, threw 60% of the interceptions that Daniel Jones threw for the year. Daniel Jones has been consistent this year. He's played in games pretty close to the significance of the game tomorrow. I mean, some of those games were do or die games. You just have an opportunity to make the playoffs, and he played very well in them. I think Daniel Jones will show up tomorrow, provided that we give him enough time to throw the football. But I'm not worried about Jones. I'm worried about other things on this roster. I think Jones is going to show up. Chris Manny says, what's the smallest room in U.S. Bank Stadium? The Minnesota Vikings trophy room. Yeah, they don't need a whole lot of room for that. Minnesota Vikings got as many Super Bowl championships as I do. And hopefully by tomorrow that streak continues. But yeah, they're definitely not the most prestigious franchise when it comes to winning Super Bowls. Let's see what we got. I hope I see James Washington. I don't think you will. I think they picked up James Washington more for next year than this year. And naturally, I know a lot of people are going to say that because we need help at the wide receiver position. But the guy just got here. He's never caught a pass in a game from Daniel Jones. He has never played from within this offensive system. I would be shocked if they put him into a game like this, unless it's, I think he's still in the practice squad. I don't even know if he's on the roster, but I would be very surprised if he has any kind of role in the playoffs. What's going on, JD, man? Thanks for popping in. What's going on there? James Jones, thanks for popping in. Cup of Tea says we have our best defensive players back, too. Well, that's another positive, right? Adore Jackson and McKinney, who played a game already, but those guys both weren't on the field the last time we played the Vikings. Did you hear Brett Coleman's video on the Giants? I heard a bits of it, for people that hate Daniel Jones. I heard that part. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was busy today. And I love Brett, but I disagree with him on his points about Daniel Jones personally. That's fine. I mean, I think he's a really smart guy. He's entitled to his opinion. I just happen to disagree with it. People talk about how Daniel Jones is scared to take shots down the field. And from what I heard, he demonstrated that in his video today. You could show that for almost any quarterback in the league. And the fact of the matter is, when he has wide receivers that get open not nearly as much as other quarterbacks' wide receivers get open down the field, he's going to be less inclined to take shots down the field. So people just look at a handful of throws. Get him weapons. Get him what Jalen Hurts got this year. And I promise you, Daniel Jones will take more shots down the field. You don't think that that's drilled into his head by Brian Daboll? That's part of the game plan. They know they're limited at the wide receiver position. Joe Sheen has talked about that. He talked about it at the bye week. They know they're limited at the wide receiver position. The strength of this team is currently constructed is Daniel Jones's legs and Saquon Barkley's legs. I mean, he's throwing to Richie James, Isaiah Hodgins, and Darius Slayton. I don't know what you want him to do. He's done as good of a job as I could have hoped for this year. So it is what it is. Donald, man, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in. Trump says, we're going to send Minnesota to their couch. Let's go. Jacob says, Tana, don't we have to call guys up from practice squad by tonight? We didn't call anyone up. Not from what I've heard. I didn't see anything on Twitter that we called anybody up. No, I've not heard anything. Peter says, is there anything DJ could do tomorrow that makes us Giants fans not want him next year? No. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. But my opinion is going to be I want him back next year, no matter what happens tomorrow. Little Robbie, man, what's going on, man? Prediction, Mr. Cousins, pain. Let's get after him, man. Let's bring that pass rush and get after him, man. We called up Pimpleton and Corbin. Okay. I missed that on Twitter. I didn't see it. That's interesting. Are they going to use Pimpleton for punt returns? I didn't even hear that, but that's interesting. Big Moose says, we have rookies that play and act like vets. Yeah. I mean, our rookie class, a lot of them have gotten hurt this year, but yeah, you got to be happy with this rookie class if you're a Giants fan. Dane Belton, obviously contributing down the stretch. Flott looked really good. Kayvon Thibodeau's only got better throughout the course of the year. Wandell was definitely starting to show promise before he got hurt. So there's certainly some potential with this rookie class. Let's see what we got. Along with, what's his name? I don't know why I'm forgetting his name, but he looked really good last week. The edge rusher we picked up. Why am I forgetting his name? But he played really well in the game against the Eagles. I can't remember his name, but the undrafted free agent we picked up. Let's see. Unfortunately, our fans have always hated on our quarterbacks, Sims, Eli, and now Jones. We appreciate them. Yeah. Let's see. Chargers got a tutty, so they're up 24-0 now. Yep. I just saw it on my phone. Like I said, I'm delayed. So halfway through the second quarter, the Chargers are up 24-0. Holy crap. Timon Fox. That's who I was talking about. Timon Fox. Yeah, he looked good. He looked good last game. And Jai says, I heard they called up Pimpleton and Corbin just so they could get their money bonuses or something. Oh, okay. So there you go. Yeah, I missed that on Twitter today. I didn't see it. So I guess that's why. Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd throw him into a game like this. I know Pimpleton's a punt returner, and people have been asking for that all year, but I don't think that they would throw him into a situation like this. If he hasn't received any punts during the regular season. Let's see. Did you see Sean Payton said DJ will probably be back, but is not a franchise guy? I did not. And that's his opinion. I mean, he's paid to make his opinion, and right now, I think that's a fair opinion. To be a franchise guy, you got to be one of the best quarterbacks in football. He's still got more to prove before even I'm willing to say he's a franchise guy, but I think he needs to be back. Eduardo says, did you hear about Gates saying he expected the Minnesota Stadium to be even louder when they first faced off? What I heard from Gates, if I'm not mistaken, unless he changed what he said, Nick Gates said earlier in the week that he was surprised, and I didn't like when he said it. He was surprised at how low the volume was the last time they went to Minnesota. And I said to myself, well, that's going to be bulletin board material for the Vikings. Not that it matters. The fans are going to be loud no matter what. But that's what I heard that Nick Gates said, unless he changed. He said something new. I think Feliciano said that he thought the crowd was going to be very loud. But Nick Gates, I'm pretty sure, said that they were lower than he thought they were going to be. Let's see what we got. Did the Giants play Thomas or Daniel Jones on Sunday? What? What do you mean? Not true. Enters of franchise players about popularity and skills. What? Okay. That's your opinion. Philip says, LA Chargers, I knew would win. 49ers, I knew would win. Giants, I know will win. Tampa Bay will win. Buffalo Bills will win. Bengals will win. Those are my. I hope you're right. As long as the Giants are part of your predictions, I hope you're right. A madman, what's going on, man? I'm nervous, Chris. Last time I was this nervous, we beat San Francisco in 2011. On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you? At kickoff tomorrow, I'm going to be really nervous. I'd be lying to you if I said otherwise. It's a playoff game. It's do or die. You're potentially looking at your last game of the season. It's our first playoff game since 2016. We don't get these opportunities all the time, right? So I'd be lying to you. It wouldn't matter if I felt like we were going to win by 20 points. I'm going to be nervous at kickoff for a playoff game, but I'm confident going into the game. I think we're the better football team. I really believe that. And I think right now we're playing our best football. So are there some concerns? Absolutely. I mentioned Evan Neal. I mentioned the fact that a lot of these guys have never played in a playoff game. Pretty much every one of our impact players has not played in a game of this magnitude before. I could talk about how they played in really important games leading up to it, but yeah, maybe it is different come playoff time. We saw that Eli Manning, it took him a few years before he really hit his groove. So I'm nervous, and by no means do I think this is a sure thing, but I think the Giants are going to win. I really do. I think the Giants are going to win tomorrow. Let's see what we got. Chris says, why can't the Minnesota Vikings eat cereal for breakfast? They choke when they get too close to the ball. Well done. Chris, your chat entered into another dimension where pop is better than skill. Oh, popularity. Yeah. I guess what he was trying to say was like people like nominate guys as franchise quarterbacks based off of popularity. Not me. I mean, I've said all the time, people ask me what my definition for a franchise quarterback is. My definition for a franchise quarterback is a quarterback that could eat up 18%, 15 to 20% of your team's salary cap and still compete to win Super Bowls. That's the definition of a franchise quarterback. Do I know Daniel Jones is that yet? No. But I do know that I want to see if he can become that, and I want him to get a couple more years to see how he could grow in the offense. So everybody's got different opinions when it comes to franchise quarterbacks. A lot of people would call Kyler Murray a franchise quarterback. I would not. A lot of people would call Dak Prescott a franchise quarterback. I would not. I don't think Dak Prescott could win a Super Bowl eating up 18% of his team's cap. A lot of people would call Derek Carr a franchise quarterback. I would not. So I have a different definition than a lot of people. Big Moo, thank you very much. He says, can't wait to hear you and Bad Dog calling the game. Cannot wait, man. It's going to be a blast. Franchise quarterback. Let's see what we got. If a quarterback fails, would you take him? Take him, though. No, I don't want a quarterback next year, if that's what you're asking. I want nothing to do with a quarterback in the draft. Tane, I really feel like we are on the Eagles' path rebuilding wise. Playoffs first year, then become real. I've mentioned that trajectory in the past that we're very similar to last year's Eagles team. The Eagles last year unexpectedly made the playoffs. They won 9 games. They had an offense that was built very much like ours in terms of, as a run-heavy football team because of the limited weaponry. Obviously, they had Devontae Smith, but he was young. He was a rookie. He was developing. And they had much better weapons last year than we still have at this point. But they had Devontae Smith. They had, they had some decent weapons. But then they went out there and they added A.J. Brown, and that changed everything. That opened up their offense. And as a Giants fan, I think that's what a lot of us are looking at. They're saying, okay, go get us the number 1 wide receiver next year, and that should open up everything, just like it did for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I do think there's a lot of similarities for this year's team and last year's team. Wow, I got to post that on Twitter. Wow. Hold on one second. I got to post this on Twitter real quick. I'm going to write Trevor Lawrence just threw his 4th interception in a quarter and a half. He now has 80% of the interceptions that Daniel Jones threw for the entire year in less than a half. There you go. Suck on that stat. But Ian says, with how Dable coached against Philly with second and third stringers only, I have high hopes for this game. McKinney is back, and most likely Adoree too. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the defense this year. I really, this game rather, getting those 2 guys back, that should help tremendously. And I think McKinney's going to help. Obviously, you think going up against TJ Hockenson, who's a guy I'm really worried about going into this game. Hockenson the last time around had like 12 catches. I know we're going to double Jefferson. And I know he's going to get his catches, but you don't want to get killed by somebody else. So I think McKinney is going to be matched up a lot on TJ Hockenson. So that should help out tremendously. He's got 5 picks. Did I miss one? Hold on a second. He's got 5 picks? Hold on. No, he's got 4. He's got 4. 4 for 16 with 4 picks and 30 yards. Oh, my God. I love it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So he's got 4. By the end of the game, he'll have 5. Let's see what we got. The record is 7. Well, maybe he'll set that record tonight. Nate says, well, good to see you, Nate, by the way. If it's me, I play Dion principal with Jetson Osborne and let somebody hang with Thielen. X-Man Shadow. That's what I think he's going to do. That's what I just said. Yeah, I think McKinney's going to be on Hockenson. So you would put, hold on, let me read this again. I think what you're saying, let me just make sure I'm reading this properly. So, yeah, I'm assuming what you're saying, the Dion principle, I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe I'm, obviously you're talking about Jefferson there. Are you saying that you would put Adoree on him one-on-one? I think they got to jam him up at the line of scrimmage, for sure. I think we gave him too much cushion the first time around. I'm doubling Jefferson. I'm putting McKinney on Hockenson. I am worried about the slot, though. I think they're going to move Jefferson around to create mismatches. Oh, okay. So you're saying you'd put, like, I see what you're saying. So you would put Adoree on their number 2 wide receiver, and you would double Jefferson with our second corner. That makes sense because it takes away, you're hoping at least with that strategy, it takes away their secondary option, and you double cover Jefferson. Makes sense. And I could certainly see them going that route, especially with Adoree Jackson just getting back. He hasn't played in forever. So they might go that route. What I'll say this year is the Giants have not, Adoree Jackson has not traveled from side to side. It's not like they've paired him up on a single wide receiver in a lot of the games. I think maybe 1 or 2 they did, but for the most part, he hasn't traveled in most of the games. I missed Little Robbie. Let me read real quick. Little Robbie. Where's Little Robbie? There he is. Sorry about that, Little Robbie. What's going on, Little Robbie? My girl hoped to see you at Mr. Purple's. I told her you were oh man. Yeah, listen, next time they have one of those meetups, I'll definitely go. I've met up with them a few times. Bobby and Justin, and I didn't hear about it until the week of. But yeah, I have to stream the game. I mean, I do all the play-by-play on YouTube. I have to stream the playoff game. I've never had an opportunity to stream a playoff game. But yeah, next year I definitely want to do a meetup with those guys in their community. They're great. So many great Giants fans with Bobby and Justin. I wish I could go. I feel bad, Trevor. Like, what is going on? Trevor, listen, he ain't ready for the playoffs. He ain't ready for the playoffs. That makes a lot of sense with big pressure from the edge. I think that's what we're gonna. That's a good idea. It's very well what they might do. They might put Adoree on the number 2 option, whether that be Osborne. Thielen's more of a slot guy. I definitely agree with him that McKinney, I think, is going to be on Hawkinson, and then you double Jefferson with your secondary option. Thomas, man, thank you very much, man. He says, it's nice knowing the draft picks does not include a quarterback, can draft for other needs. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to force a quarterback pick. You continue to build. Wouldn't everybody in the chat want the exact, and I'm not saying we're going to be able to do this. It's nearly impossible to build a team as strong as what the San Francisco 49ers have, and they've been able to maintain it for the last couple of years. But wouldn't you guys, think about this. The San Francisco 49ers right now are the favorite, in my opinion at least, to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. Might even be the favorite to win it. They're that good, but I definitely think they're the favorite out of the NFC. They're the favorite to go to the NFC with a rookie quarterback who was drafted with the last pick, not by the 49ers, by anyone in the draft this year. Mr. Irrelevant. Why is that? Do you think it's because Brock Purdy is this otherworldly talent? Or do you think it's because they have a team that's set up to get the most out of the quarterback? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to build a team that way? Wouldn't that be nice? And hopefully the New York Giants are able to do that over the next couple of years. What's going on there, Dr. Drake, man? Thanks for popping in, man. A lot of the community is your community. Love what you guys, what you do, man. I appreciate that, Michael, man. Thank you for being here, man. Saquon and Ojulari are going to have I hope so. Do you think that the Giants are similar than last year? No, I don't. Listen, the 49ers team is loaded. Bad Dog is live tonight. I had no idea. I just went live. I had no idea Bad Dog was live. I just went live. So yeah, if maybe he's doing the Lakers or he's doing the Giants, I have no idea, but I'm going live. It's the night before the playoff games. I'm going live. I felt like going live. People asked me on Twitter to go live. Mazy Guy says Giants D-line has to dominate. And I think we will. I think that's our biggest mismatch in this game. I've said that all week. I think that's our biggest advantage is our interior D-line against their interior offensive line. And the right tackle going up against, I think it'll probably be Kayvon, but maybe it'll be Azeez Ojulari. But I think we need to pick on that right tackle. But even more importantly, especially going up against a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, I think it's imperative that you get interior pressure. And I think we're going to be able to do that. I think Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams are going to play a big factor in this game. Brett, man, thank you very much, man. Hey, Chris, so is Purdy the real deal or is he hyped up? Purdy is in quarterback heaven. That's what he is. Now there's going to be people that just base everything off the quarterback. If Purdy remains on as the quarterback for the 49ers, that are going to continue to say that he's really good. Just like people said the same thing with Dak Prescott. You put a quarterback into a situation like the San Francisco 49ers, they're going to look good. I mean, come on. It's the same thing with Dak his rookie year with the Dallas Cowboys. He went into quarterback heaven. It's a team game. I think a lot of people fail to realize that people just judge everything based off the quarterback. You put Daniel Jones on the 49ers, he looks immaculate. I mean, they have everything. They've got everything in place. So that's how you build a football team. Yeah, Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. And I'm not saying the guy doesn't have talent. He has some talent. I enjoyed watching him today. He extended some plays, made some good throws. But come on. He's throwing to Kittle. He's throwing to Debo. He's throwing to Ayuk. Ayuk would be Ayuk would be a number 1 wide receiver on probably 20 teams in the NFL. He's like their number 3 option. McCaffrey and Debo. So come on. JC says, hoping Holmes clean game. I'll take a false start, but no holding penalties to stall our drives. Play smart, not too aggressive, risking a strip ball. The Jaguars fumbled again? Holy crap. Nate says, Purdy played an elite game. Those checkdowns and handoffs were absolutely. He made one really nice play. He made a play where he rolled out, and he did make one really nice play where he sensed the pressure and he rolled out. He bought his wide receivers time. It was near the end zone. He made one really nice play, and then he made another nice play where he extended a play and he threw it to, I think it was Ayuk in the corner of the end zone, and he dropped it. But come on, I mean, my God, you could put almost any quarterback in that offense, and they're going to look really good. Let's see what we got. The Jags are making me even more nervous for tomorrow. Why though? We're not the Jags. We're not the Jags. Let's see what we got. Give me 30-27 Giants. How is this a home game for the Jags? They ain't playing like it. They certainly ain't playing like it. It's been a long 6 years. Yeah, it has. That one nice play was, yeah, well, it was a good play. GW, thank you very much. Sit down, Daniel Jones haters. I would like nothing more than to come on Twitter and celebrate with you guys after the game tomorrow and celebrate how good of a job Daniel Jones did. I've grown more and more of a liking towards Daniel Jones this year because of all the hate he gets from a lot of the members of this fan base, and more so people from outside the fan base, mass media, so on and so forth. So I hope he goes out there, he bowls out tomorrow, and he gets his first feather in his cap, gets his first playoff win, and we get ready for the Philadelphia Eagles. But yeah, I'm begging Daniel Jones to go out there and have a big game tomorrow, man. I am begging him to go out there and have a big game tomorrow. I really am. Nate says, man, all I want from Jones tomorrow is to not play it safe. I mean, I think it's dependent on the game plan. I don't think they're going to play ultra conservative, though, but I also don't necessarily think they're going to throw the ball 42 times like they did last time against Minnesota. And I don't think that's a bad idea. It's a good idea, in my opinion. I think they need to run the ball a bit more, whether it be with Jones himself or Saquon Barkley. I think the offense needs to be a little bit more balanced than it was the last time around. We run 33% of the time. I like it to be maybe more towards 58-42 as opposed to 66-33 in terms of percentages. But that doesn't mean that Jones won't take some shots. I think he will. I think there'll be opportunities there, and I think he'll take the shots when they're there. Let's see what we got. Tinny doing a post-game. I mean, if they win, for sure. You know that. Go get a win tomorrow. So happy. Let's go, man. And, yeah, Nate, I don't think he will be. I really don't think he will. I think when there's opportunities, I think he's going to take them. Ron says DJ's going to bowl out tomorrow. I sure hope so. Madden says, remember when people wanted to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo? Giants fans still want Kyler Murray over DJ, still want Taylor to start watching Lawrence. I'm giving DJ his respect. Well, the Jimmy Garoppolo thing never made sense. Jimmy Garoppolo was making a ton of money. Then he was older. That never made any sense. Just like Derek Carr would make any sense. Like, yeah, it never made any sense. For me, it was clear you were bringing back Daniel Jones this year, and then you were going to see what he could be because the quarterback class was so poor. Yeah, it made no sense. And it's just like when people bring up, oh, we should bring in Carr. Why would you bring in Carr? Carr's going to cost you just as much as DJ would, if not, well, probably. Actually, I'm going to be, call me crazy. Let me ask the chat this. I'm very curious to get your guys' opinion on this. Maybe just based off name recognition, you disagree with me. Let's just say the New York Giants let Daniel Jones hit free agency. Didn't sign him, didn't tag him. They said, we're going to let you explore the market. Which quarterback would have a higher market? Daniel Jones or Derek Carr? I don't even hesitate. I think it's Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones was a better quarterback this year. I think Daniel Jones is like 7 years younger, and I think he's got a higher ceiling. I think it'd be Daniel Jones. I don't think people realize what Daniel Jones' market would be. I think he's going to have a market. Let's see what we got. Jake, he says, do your job tomorrow, Giants players, and we win nothing else. It's been the theme the whole year. And I think we're gonna. I'm excited for it. I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna win. I think it's gonna be close. We're gonna open up the lines in about 20 minutes. Want to give a couple of people a chance to pop into the stream. We'll fill up the stream. We'll get some callers. We'll talk about the game. I'm excited, man. I really am excited about it. But listen, at the end of the day, execute. Don't turn the ball over like we have all year. I'm saying, yeah, like we have all year. Don't turn the ball over. Be smart with the football. The first time around against Minnesota, we had essentially 3 turnovers. That's why we lost that football game. Same thing when we played the Lions. I'm not saying you maybe you could have 1 turnover and get away with it, but you can't play sloppy football. We can't play that way. We got to execute like we've done all year when we've won these games, and I think we're gonna. Sports Bias says Trey Lance never played this good. Trey Lance never really got a chance to play. I mean, what did Trey Lance play? A game before he got hurt? I mean, come on. He never really got a chance to play. Last year, I mean, he was a rookie. He barely played. So, listen, if you think Brock Purdy would look the way he's looking on the New York. Brock Purdy on the New York Giants would be a third-string quarterback. Would never see the field. He'd get destroyed. Frank, man, thank you very much, man. Stand up. Our defense is going to show up big time tomorrow. Can we ask Dog to hold his mic like the 40 yards further from him? Hashtag headaches. Oh, I guess because his microphone's loud. Maybe I'll tell him to dial the microphone back a little bit tomorrow. I have no idea. You guys listen, I talk. So maybe I'll bring up the suggestion to him tomorrow. I have no idea. But listen, here's what I'm going to say. Tomorrow, Frank, I am going to apologize to no one. No one. I'm sorry. I'm giving you full warning going into the game. If you have to wear, earplugs, well, I'm doing the play-by-play, wear the earplugs. It is going to be the most emotional I've ever been on any YouTube stream tomorrow. It's going to happen. I'm not saying I'm going to curse. I don't like to curse. I'm not. It might come out, but I'm going to be emotional. I'm going to be loud. If you are sitting next to your wife or fiance, you're probably going to get divorced. They're going to say, I can't listen to this anymore because I'm going to be obnoxious. It's the biggest game we've had since 2016. And I apologize in advance. I'm going to be very loud. Let's see what we got. Brett says, excited. See how our D plays with all the starters back. You and me both, man. I think they're going to come up in a big way, man. I can't wait, man. Are you guys going to have the glasses tomorrow? Of course we're going to have the glasses tomorrow. Where the hell are the glasses? I think they're right here. I'll find them. They're down here somewhere. But yes, we will have the glasses tomorrow for sure. Chris, we expect F-bombs. I'm not going to, I mean, it might slip out, but I try not to. I try not to curse. Timothy says, what happened to the stream with Carl Bank? Sorry if you already said. No, so I don't know what happened. He told me to talk to his agent, or I don't know if it was his secretary, and she didn't get back to me. So hopefully next week. I don't want to bug the guy, though. I don't want to bug her. I don't want to bug the guy. We'll figure something out at some point, but he's definitely interested in coming on the channel, but he's busy, just like I understand it, man. He's part of the, he does all these shows, right? It's the biggest week of the year, so I figured I'd ask him. He said he'd come on. And it just didn't work out. It'll work out in the future, whatever. Chris trying to keep this PG. Listen, Nate, I know like a lot of kids listen, so I felt bad after the draft reaction when I went back and looked at him. Like, there's probably like 7, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds that watch that. So yeah, I try not to curse, but sometimes it comes out. I can't help it. Giants fans are humble right now. Who are you a fan of, Truther? We don't know what. Oh, you are a Giants fan. We don't know what the hell is going to happen. The playoffs is not easy. Yeah, but you know what, man? We're not supposed to be here, so let's make the most of it. Let's go out there and let's shock the world. Let's see what we can do tomorrow. If things don't work out, we build off of it next year. I have a feeling we're going to put forth a very good effort tomorrow, though. I really do. And Blue says, I'm a Giants fan living in Minnesota. Wife of 17 years is a cheesehead. We're going to the game tomorrow. I'll be in my Eli jersey. One time only, wife's wearing a Giants jersey. Let's go. Well, it makes sense. If she's a Packers fan, she's got to root with you this time around, right? That's like her arch rival. So there you go. You and your wife won't be fighting tomorrow. Tomorrow, you guys will be hand in hand rooting for the same football team. But enjoy the game, man. Don't I hate Daniel Jones? I love people who just come into my channel. That's how I know that, and I'm not blaming you, Craig, because you probably don't watch my channel. But I love people that just come into my channel. I get asked this every once in a while. Don't you hate Daniel Jones? When people ask me that question, I know they haven't watched my channel all year. Like literally all year. And really since the draft reaction, but mainly all year. I know they haven't followed me on Twitter all year. I can't imagine somebody was a much more outspoken guy for Daniel Jones this entire year, start to finish. I've been supporting Daniel Jones all year. So yeah, I definitely don't hate Daniel Jones. I hated the draft pick on draft night, like 95% of Giants fans, but no, I do not hate Daniel Jones. I'm very proud of Daniel Jones. I think he's done a tremendous job this year. Let's see. And Eric says, G-Men are playing with house money. Go Big Blue. Let's go, man. Rob says first place should be a double end around flea flicker. When did I've never said I wanted him gone. Never once said that. People put words in my mouth. I've never once said that. I said that I thought he would be gone at the end of the year because I thought that we were going to win 6 or 7 games and we'd be in a position to draft a quarterback. Never said the words, I wanted him gone. Never said that. I was rooting for him this year. I wanted to make the playoffs. I wanted him to be back. I give you guys predictions. I give you guys my opinion of what's going to happen. Doesn't mean I want that to happen. Let's see what we got. Chris has been fair with DJ since the beginning. I think I've been more than fair. Let's see what we got. Sean says special teams is key tomorrow. If we need to pick up on kickoff and punt returns. I'm not, like I said earlier at the top of the stream, I'm not concerned with the kick returns. I think Gano is going to be able to kick it out of the end zone. They're playing in a dome. I'm not concerned with the kick returns. It's the punt returns that worry me a lot more. No, I know, Nate. It's just, yeah, you're right. But I feel you follow me on Twitter. I'm one of his most outspoken supporters. JC, stand up, new member. Welcome to the squad, man. I appreciate it, man. But, guys, I am going to open up the lines. Anybody that wants to come on, you guys are more than welcome to. We'll take some video calls. We'll talk about the game. Thank you guys for being here. If you had to choose defense or offense, what wins the game? I think defense is going to win us this game if we're going to win it. But it's going to be a team effort. I don't think we're a good enough team. We're not a good enough defense to rely strictly on the defense to win this game. We're just not. Minnesota's going to put up points. So the team has to show up. But if you're asking me where I think we have the biggest advantage, I think it's on the defensive side. I think the defensive line specifically. The corners I'm worried about. But I think we could create a lot of havoc with our defensive line going into this game. I also think Daniel Jones is going to have an opportunity to move the football on the offensive side. But I think it's going to be a team effort. I don't think we're a strong enough defense to have the offense throw a dud and win this football game. So it's going to be a team effort. But if you're asking me which unit is going to be the biggest factor, I'm going to go with the defensive line. I think if we could win the turnover battle, it'll go a long way. Let's see what we got. I'll post the link again. We got a couple of people calling. We'll see if we got a couple more. Links right there in the chat if you want to call in. Got 2 people waiting. V Christian, I don't know, V Christian. If you want to, I don't know, unsubscribe if he tells you to unsubscribe if you want to. I don't really care. James says the only guy I'm not a believer in on this team is Jamie Gillen. Yeah, he sucks. I want Jamie Gillen replaced pronto. Hopefully next year. Hopefully we're bringing some competition at the punter position. I'm just not a fan. Let's see what we got. Tickets to History says having our full complement of defenders back will help us stop the run, which we've struggled with. I hope, because our run defense has been horrible. And I think that's more to do with the linebackers than anything else. I think our linebackers are pitiful. But we got a couple of callers. We're going to take some people. We got a lot of callers now. All right. Let's start with John. John, just unmute your mic, man. Let's talk some Giants football.
Yo, it's good.
What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Hi, you see the Chargers?
24. It's still 24-0, right?
Yeah.
27-0. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's getting. I think they have the ball still. I think Chargers got the ball back.
Trevor Lawrence is 6 of 20 for 47 yards with 4 picks.
I was in your Twitter before the Twitter chat, and I heard that guy with DJ or whatever. He's talking about how, like, he wants these gunslingers, elite guy like Trevor Lawrence. He's got like 4 picks and 6 of his completions.
DJ's actually in the chat in the back waiting. He's gonna call in a minute, but yeah, he did say that.
Yo, DJ, if you're listening, man, that's not really going too good right now.
He did say that. Trevor Lawrence ain't looking good right now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he's still got a lot of potential, but it's just not a great first playoff game.
No, but I think he'll bounce back. I think he's very good, but yeah, I would not call him elite yet, like DJ did in that chat.
Yeah, he's far from that right now. Anyways, I'm feeling like nervous, but like I feel like confident at the same time tomorrow. But like I think it's because like I haven't really witnessed that many like playoff experiences with this team, because last time they made it, I was in 6th grade. And that game probably put me in tears, especially when Paul Perkins didn't know what a fumble was and Clay Matthews just shoved him to the floor. I don't know if you remember that, but when Eli Manning like fumbled the ball and Paul Perkins didn't pick it up because he thought it was incomplete, it got shoved, like bulldozered.
I remember the play.
That I started crying after that. I was like, I think it was like only 11. It was bad. I don't want that happening again. But the Vikings aren't like, I mean, yeah, they're a 13-win team, but they almost remind you a little bit of us. I mean, we were in 2016. I mean, they took a little bit of advantage of beating up a bad schedule of like like bad teams. I was looking at their record. They only have like I think 4 wins against a winning record. So they're not very. I mean, even against the teams that don't have winning records, like the Bears, they almost lost to the Bears if it wasn't for like that strip fumble against like their rookie receiver, whatever
Yeah,
his
let me
name
pull
is. He
up the
fumbled
exact
against
numbers
us.
on the Vikings this year in terms of their wins and losses. They all right. So this is their schedule. I'll just go over their wins. Week 1, they beat up on the Packers. That was their biggest discrepancy, I think, all year. They won 23-7, and we all know Rodgers always sucks early in the year, at least in recent history. He's been bad opening weeks, like for the last 3 years. Second win, they beat the Lions by 4 home. They beat the Saints by 3. They beat the Bears by 7. They beat the Dolphins by 8, and that may have been when Tua was hurt. I'm not sure. They beat the Cardinals by 8. They beat Washington by 3. They beat the Bills. That was their most impressive win by
And that was like a
3.
lucky ass win
That was
too.
the
Like
lucky fluke win at the end. But still, to even keep it close in Buffalo, that's impressive.
the Bills
Um,
can't run QB sneaks as good as us at the 1 yard line, so we could say we're better than the Bills than that. So
they beat the Patriots by 7. They beat the Jets by 5. They beat the Colts by 3. They beat us by 3. And then they beat the Bears last week but they were playing all their backups. So outside of last week, they only have one, and I don't even count that because Justin Fields wasn't playing the Bears. They only have one game in which they've won by more than a single score all year. Now that's the
what game
good
is
news.
that?
The bad news is I think they've won basically every one-score game they've played in because their losses, they lost by 11, they lost by 37, they lost by 17, and they lost by 24. So in their losses, they've gotten destroyed. In all their close games, they've found ways to win.
There's just really I mean Justin Jefferson's probably is just like one of the best players in the league, probably top 5. I think if you take him out and you make someone like Adam Thielen or like KJ Osborne or Hawkins to beat you, a guy that's not really going to get like a 30-yard chunk play at a time, you're in good position because Adam Thielen in the last 3 games has 4 total catches. So they don't really throw his way. I mean, I would try to make him go that way instead of Justin Jefferson. I mean, I'm doubling Justin Jefferson. I'm jamming him at the line. Maybe have somebody like Julian Love pick up the double coverage. A guy that's familiar at like playing a corner spot, like he's playing nickel corner, like hybrid safety. I would look to do that and make him beat you with guys that aren't really going to beat you with speed because Justin Jefferson's got it's like the full package of like speed, athleticism. I'd make him go to Adam Thielen or Hawkinson.
I mean, I think that's got to be the game plan. They got to double Justin Jefferson. That's like anybody should. I mean, it's like it's so obvious that it's like Wink better do that. Like, so I think they're going to double him. It's just a matter on how they do it and how often they do it and what's their approach going to be. Last game they kind of played more off the line of scrimmage. I think they got to do a better job disrupting his route this time around, and we'll see. I think they got to get physical with him at the line of scrimmage and give their pass rushers maybe an extra half second to get after the quarterback because that's where this game's going to be won and lost for me. So. We'll see, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it all plays out tomorrow.
Yeah, like normally before like games we play, I do some like undercover scouting against like other teams' fan pages on Instagram, and they're just so happy to get their backup right tackle back. Like I don't understand like
I
why
think
this.
he's their third string right tackle.
No, no,
If I'm
no. Their second string came off IR. He's gonna play.
oh,
He didn't
okay.
even he didn't even practice all week, and he's gonna start right tackle. So I don't know how that's gonna go. They're happy to get like one of the bottom. I mean, I guess Bradbury's not a terrible center, but
He's
uh,
solid. I wanted him in the draft that
he's
year.
like okay. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not like like the best. Like Dexter Lawrence will just destroy him. I mean, I don't think he's gonna be that much of a factor because last game we didn't really have Leo or Aziz last game because I think the Leonard Williams came out. Did he come out the rest of the game second half? I think so, right?
Yeah, no. Last week, Leo didn't play.
Yeah, he's been banged up. I think once we get him back, because he's played a quarter and was already a dominant beast. I mean, they didn't play, and we still had 5 sacks. So I think once we get them back, I mean, just you gotta get into the interior. And also saw some plays where like Zadarius Smith was playing against our like right guard, and like they're trying to get interior pressure on Jones. I think we gotta watch out for that. That was a big thing that was beating us. I mean, Evan Neal's gotta be better. Too many false start penalties. I mean, as of late too, like they've been just like going up. I mean, against the Eagles he had 2. I think the game before that he had 2. So hopefully he could fix that. I think that's more of his injury. I mean, his stance kind of seems off. I think he just needs to be better. But then
I
other
think
than
it's
that,
the injury too.
pretty
I think that
confident.
has a lot to do with the way Neal's played down the stretch. I that it's obvious. I mean, because he was starting to play better and then he got hurt and he's been struggling ever since.
Yeah, he was playing after the Dallas game. He was really good, and then he got hurt. Same thing's kind of Andrew Thomas. Like he was playing good his first year, and then he got hurt, and then he started sucking too. Andrew Thomas was the same way. He wasn't maybe as bad as Evan Neal's been, but he was brutal too.
I
He
just
was
saw in the chat Evan Ingram caught a playoff touchdown.
no. Well, good for him. Like he could do that for us. I mean, single-handedly the reason why we haven't made a playoff game since 2016. So,
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, think about all the games he costed us with his drops in crucial spots. But
oh
I have
God,
no ill will towards him. I mean, I'm glad he's not a Giant. I'm glad he's being successful at Jacksonville. I knew it was never going to work out here. So it
we
is
didn't
what it
use
is.
him the right way. If Garrett used him as like a blocker, it was stupid. Like he's a hybrid tight end. I mean, that's what Shermer did and McAdoo did for a little bit when he was on the team with him. He would use him as like a receiver. He wasn't really a blocking tight end. He's not
He's
a blocker.
basically
He's a
Chase
receiver.
Claypool.
Yeah,
He's
it's
just
not
like
Chase
Claypool.
Claypool.
I
It's
remember when.
also it's
Go
also
ahead.
funny that so many Giants fans wanted to trade a second round pick for Chase Claypool, and essentially the Bears basically traded a first round pick, and he had 8 catches or something like that.
The 32nd pick in the draft they gave up to get him because the Dolphins don't have a pick.
And then look at
So
Isaiah Hodgins. It
yeah,
worked out perfect. Our GM's actually smart for once. I mean, even though Leonard Williams is a beast, the Giants were a 4-1 team, and you had Dave Gettleman trading a third round pick for Leonard Williams, which kind of works out now for us. But
that trade worked out in my opinion. Even though like
yeah, but maybe I
you
don't
say
think
to
Shea
yourself,
would have
why
made
did they
that trade.
make it? But it worked out. Leonard Williams was a good player for us.
I wonder what they're gonna do with his contract. Anyways, what were you saying?
I think we're going to extend them, or at least we're going to try to spread out the cap. I just don't know if Leo's going to accept that, but that's what I'm hoping they're able to do to give ourselves some more, flexibility next year. But give me your take on the game tomorrow. What do you think? What's the score?
Oh man, it's really because they're both one possession teams, and I think it's gonna be a one possession game. I really don't want it to be. If it's gonna be a one possession game, I hope it's like a last second touchdown by the Vikings. We're winning by 10, so I would hope it's like our revenge moment of like Graham Gano's like 59-yard field goal, tied 24-24, and then we answer back. Then it's gonna be like,
Wait. That's what you're hoping?
oh, I'm hoping it's a 24-24 game. We get the ball back.
Are
Vikings.
you are you
I know.
sick?
No, I know it's like we're all gonna be like on our knees, like hearts pounding or out of our chest. But if it ended like that, it would be such a great ending. It's like the ultimate revenge of like the Greg Joseph like sucks against any other team. He just nails a 61-yard field goal. Graham Gano just boots it.
Listen. At the end of the game, no matter how they win, I'm going to be ecstatic. They can win 1,000-0. They can win 24-20. I don't want that going in. I want to be partying with you guys the whole fourth quarter, knowing that we're up by 30 points.
But your stand up would probably make like the shot heard around the world. So it would be a good thing. The whole world would stand up.
But we'll see, man. I'm excited for the game tomorrow. Thank you for all the support on the channel. I'm going to get to the chat, and we're going to bring on the next guy. But so you said 27-24?
27-24.
I got 27-23, so we got about the same score.
We're pretty close.
Yeah. So let's go Giants.
All right. See you.
Enjoy the game, man.
You too.
All right. Desmond says, at first, I did not like the fact DJ subbed Eli Manning in the first 3 games of 2019, but I had to accept the fact that he's the quarterback. I still think to this day that was a mistake, and it has nothing to do with Daniel Jones. I thought that they should have taken advantage of the fact that they had Eli Manning on the roster, and I didn't think it was Eli's fault. They played the Buffalo Bills, who at the time had one of the best defenses in football, and they played Dallas, who was supposed to have one of the best defenses in football that year. The first 2 weeks, Eli looked okay, and I thought that they should have let Jones sit and learn for about a half a season before they threw him in there. But it is what it is. That's 4 years ago now, and Jones is where he's at. I'm very happy with where he's at. I'm happy right now that he's a New York Giants quarterback. And then thank you very much, says Daniel Jones is better than Trevor Lawrence. I'm not going to say whatever. It is what it is. Here's what I'll say. Daniel Jones, I'm happy he's the New York Giants quarterback. That's it. And right now, you can make that argument. I could certainly understand people that say Trevor Lawrence, based off physical tools, is better, but tools only get you so far. He has growing to do, obviously, is from what you've seen today. But Trevor Lawrence is a cannon. He's going to be really good. JC says Jacksonville is blowing this game. Jacksonville looks like crap. I mean, they had 4 turnovers in the first half. So that tells you everything you need to know. Let's get Nate in the chat. What's going on, Nate?
What's up, Chris? How you doing? Can you hear
Good
me?
to hear from you, man. Nate, in case you guys are tuning in for the first time, Nate, really good kid. Been with my channel for a while. Very knowledgeable. And I'm excited to talk Giants football with you, man. How's college going?
It's going good. How's it going back in the homeland in Giants country?
It's much better this year than most.
Yeah, I'll say that for sure. I was saying earlier, it's incredible to actually not want the season to end by this point in the year. Like, at this point, it's crazy because I almost am more excited to play more football than to win the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Usually we're thinking, who are we drafting? Who are we signing? Who's our next coach? Ugh.
Now you're a huge draft guy, and I'm sure you're still doing the draft stuff. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
like this year, I'm sure you're not doing quite as much. You're into
Oh
the season.
no. No, listen. I mean, you still scout players because you want to know what you're talking about, but at the same time, you're much more actively excited about the season instead of the draft, which is fantastic. I mean, we all remember the last week of the season. For once, we're not one of those teams that's sitting watching the jockeying for draft positions and the who's fired, who's not Black Monday.
And we're not like one of
order
these.
sits.
We're not like Chicago Bears fans this year who are getting in arguments on Twitter that are like, "Oh, we got the most cap space in football." That I hate that argument. And listen, I've been there before because you're looking for hope. We got cap space, we can spend money. The whole reason you have $110 million in cap space because you haven't drafted anybody good, so you haven't paid anybody. That's why you have cap space. The worst teams in the league have that much cap space. But I didn't mean to go on a tangent.
No. Please go on whatever tangent you want. I'm excited to talk to you. It's been a long time.
So what do you think about this game tomorrow?
Listen, I don't want to jinx anything. I'll knock on wood even before I say this. I think we should win, and I say that not even from a fan perspective. We should win that game. I mean, just based on the last matchup, it's recent. It's not old stuff. It's not stale. It's a recent game that was just played between these two teams. And if you look at how that game went, logically, we should be winning. And obviously, Vegas doesn't think too highly of the Vikings. When you have a team favored by 3, that's okay, we don't know how to call this. The home team gets 3. That's how Vegas does these things. So when you look at how the game went, right, and you think about the fact that we were missing Adoree Jackson, we were missing Xavier McKinney, we had a couple of more banged up players, we're just a healthier team now, and then you think about the fact that it took all of those breaks just for Minnesota to get to a 61-yard field goal attempt that they then made. You gotta think we've got a damn good chance at it. And besides that, I think we're just a better team at this stage. We're coming in with a better, I don't know if a more momentum is the right word for it, but I think a lot of us are a little more. I'd say we're feeling better about our team right now than Vikings fans are. Let's put it that way.
I mean, the Vikings got smoked against the Packers down the stretch. What, they lose like 40-7?
It was bad, whatever it was. It was
we went
massacre.
toe-to-toe with the Eagles starters with our third stringers. We destroyed the Colts. And we also saw what the Colts did to the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They scored, 33 points at the beginning of that game on them? So,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I love the way we're playing going into this game, and that's why I'm so confident. I think playoff football, that's the most important thing in terms of playoff football. How you're playing entering the playoffs. Are you playing your best football? That's, to me, is the most important thing. And right now, you look around the league, and I'm not saying we're as good as a lot of these teams during the playoffs. On paper, we're, if not the least talented team, one of the 3 or 4 least talented teams in the playoffs. If
not, it's damn close.
But we are playing our best football at the right time, and a lot of these teams are not. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of them, but a lot of these teams are struggling going into the playoffs. So that's why I'm confident. And like you said, we played this Vikings team. We should have beat them the first time, and we're only healthier. We got 2 of our 3 or 4 most important players on our defense back. Jones has built more of a rapport with Hodgins over the last 2 weeks. So I just feel like everything's clicking right now, and that's why I'm as confident as I am going into this game. Not to mention, Dable's had 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
True, for sure. I mean, if you think they made the decision to rest their starters against the Eagles and then didn't immediately turn their attention to Minnesota, I mean, you're crazy. But I think what you're saying is exactly the right stuff, which is you look at teams in the past. You look at just the Bengals as recently as last year, right? There's no metric for how hot a team is, but damn if it's not the most important thing going into the postseason. And it does sure seem like the Giants are in the right place at the right time. The only thing is, I don't know if we are playing our best football. I think we're playing our best football so far. I think there's more meat left on the bone for us, and I think there's still some things we can do better, which is only more encouraging, honestly. It's the whole idea of we're playing with house money.
Yeah, that's what I meant. We're playing our best football we have all regular season up to this point. But we're ascending, and we're getting better, much like we did in 2011. Not that I'm comparing the talent, but much like we did in 2011.
Be careful, they're going to smoke you. They're going to come for you,
But in 2011, you saw the last 2 weeks, we were starting to get better. And then that first game against the Falcons, we destroyed them. And that's when I, as a fan, said to myself, there's something here. And if the Giants ever destroyed the Vikings tomorrow, which I'm not expecting, I'm going to have that same feeling. I'm not going to lie to you, Nate. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If we beat them by 21 points tomorrow, I'm going to say to myself, yeah, there's something here. There's some momentum here. I'm not saying we're going to do that. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a really competitive game. But it's the playoffs. That's the beauty of the playoffs. It's like the NCAA tournament. It's one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen in a one-game scenario. Anything can happen, and you just put yourself in the dance. You give yourself an opportunity, and you hope when you're going in, you're playing your best. You playing your best football. I'm a huge college basketball fan. I think back to the UConn Huskies with Kemba Walker. They
Yes,
barely
please
snuck
talk about those UConn Huskies. It makes me feel so
Oh,
good
that's right. You're
inside.
from Connecticut.
I am, yes.
They snuck into the tournament. Nobody thought they were going to make the tournament. They weren't a super talented team in the regular season. They underachieved all year. They win the Big East tournament. That's the only reason why they even made the NCAA tournament. Then they go the whole distance because they went in hot. You think back to the New York Giants 2 Super Bowl runs. So you never know. And when you got a coach like Dable, it at least gives you a puncher's chance.
Absolutely, and I think that's exactly the point. Is that, I mean, a lot of fans won't even say it. I'll say it. There's not a reason we can't go to the Super Bowl this year, and I say that because if you look at this season specifically compared to other seasons, there's years where you can look at this Giants roster and say, even with Dable's coaching, and even with how well the coordinators are doing, even with how hot we are, we just aren't talented enough. The difference is, this year, the NFC is so weak. It's so weak. The Niners are the only team that scare you in this conference. That's it. The Eagles don't scare you. They just basically gave up the game to our practice squad. The Cowboys just, oh my God, did they limp into the postseason? I mean, who in this postseason scares you? The Bucks? Hell no. They've sucked all year.
I think the Niners. That's the only team.
That's it.
But again, I think the Niners are the best team in the conference.
I agree.
I don't view them. I would compare this Niners team to the Eagles team that won the Super Bowl. Similar to that team when they had
Sure.
Nick Foles starting in the playoffs. They're really strong on both lines. They're built like that Eagles team that won the Super Bowl. But I didn't view that Eagles team as a powerhouse. I viewed them as probably the best team from within the NFC. They got hot in the playoffs and they went on their run. But I don't view the 49ers as an unbeatable team. They're not
not at all. Not
the
at
greatest show on turf. They're not, so I agree with you. The NFC, you
It's
have
wide
your
open.
favorites, but it's wide open.
Yeah, and I think talking about the 49ers, because this is important to say this, I think I agree, by the way, with everyone that's talking about it. They are, without question, the most complete roster in football. The Eagles are close, but I would give it to the Niners. But I still think they're a glass cannon. I think when you look at that team and you say, okay, as talented as they are and as well coached as they are, at some point you do have to acknowledge that Brock Purdy is still a rookie quarterback, and more than that, Mr. Relevant. That's less important than him being a rookie, but at the same time, that is something that you always have to be worried about. It's not like the 49ers are completely confident in Brock Purdy because of how well he's played. At the end of the day, he is still a rookie, and that's a weakness teams can look to exploit. So I think if you're looking at the Niners and you're looking at that team as strong as they are, a lot of what's happened with Brock Purdy is they've done a fantastic job of putting him in a position to succeed. And you pretty much said it. That's quarterback heaven. They're in a position where they can use Shanahan's offense, which if this year does not completely dispel the Shanahan system argument of is it the quarterback, is it the coach, I don't know what will. But point being, at the end of the day, they've done a great job of putting him in a position to succeed. And eventually, over the course of an entire playoff run, when you're not the 1 seed and you have to play all those games to make it all the way, you're going to be in a position where you have to make tough plays, you have to be able to overcome the situation, and we're going to see if rookie Brock Purdy can do that.
We'll see. I'm excited. Hopefully, we get the opportunity to see it because the only way we can play the 49ers is in the NFC Championship game.
True.
So hopefully we get that opportunity. By no means I'll be honest with you. If we play the 49ers, I'm not picking us. But anything can happen. It's why they play the games. Yeah. Give me the chance. Let's beat Minnesota, and let's see where this takes us. I'm going to have fun tomorrow. Nate, I got a lot of people waiting. I just want to say thank you so much for calling in. I hope you're doing well. I need a final score prediction on the game tomorrow.
We're going to go with 42-3 Giants. There you go. There's your final score prediction.
That's your real prediction.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, Nate, be good, man. Enjoy the game tomorrow.
Thank you. You too.
All right, be good. And Pencilman says, Chris, how about putting Landon Collins on Hockenson? Go G-Man. I think it's going to be McKinney on Hockenson. Landon Collins, we all know he's not the best in terms of coverage. I know he had the pick 6. I think he's best in the role that he has, though, as a linebacker, in the box linebacker, who has the capabilities of being in coverage. But I think they're gonna put McKinney on Hockenson. Or I'm not saying the whole game, but I think that'll be the overall game plan. Juicebox, thank you. He says, Neal is the player that has me the most nervous. I hope he holds up. I think he's the X factor from a negative standpoint for the Giants or a positive standpoint, right? Because if he's able to hold up and play really well, I'm going to have that much more confidence that we can win this game. But we've seen it firsthand this year as Giants fans. Evan Neal's poor play when he does not play well could kill a whole game. I mean, we saw it against the Dallas Cowboys the first time around, right? Where Tank Lawrence just completely destroyed him start to finish. So, and it's not like the Vikings don't have good pass rushers. They do. So that's my biggest worry going into this game is Evan Neal. And hopefully the Giants give him some help because he's probably going to need it. Hopefully Daniel Bellinger or whoever is over there helping him in terms of pass protection. Let's see what we got. I think we got a couple of people who've been waiting for a while. What's going on? Green from Long Island. I think it's LI stands for Long Island.
Big shout out. Get it up, chat. Stand it up.
Let's
Stand
go.
up, Giants fan.
You got your bar.
I just want to say, you already know I'm repping, baby. I got it on. I'm ready. I've been pumped for 2 weeks. I want to say shout out to the channel. I love the content. Love what's going on. I met you and Justin at the Colts game.
Oh yes,
Came
I
up
remember
with that, you guys.
Yep. You're like, how tall are you? 6'6"?
I'm 6'5".
You're a tall dude. I remember you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love the content, man. I love the work you've been doing. I'm super pumped for this game. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm gonna just drink until I can't anymore. I'm happy. It's a win-win for me. I'm happy whether the Giants win, whether the Giants lose. I'm just happy where we're at. I'm happy where the draft is falling. I'm happy with the play. I'm just happy with everything right now.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, tomorrow, I'm going to lie to you if I'd be saying I'm going to be smiling if we lose. But when I have a day or two to let it seep in, I'm going to be really happy with the overall season. Obviously, I want to win. I want to make the most of the opportunity. But regardless, It's been a great year, and we're definitely building towards the right path right now. We're going down the right path.
Yes, I'm with you on that one. I'm glad we're finally going down the right path. It took us long enough. I'm glad it's the first time. It's luck of the Irish, I guess. But hey, it is what it is. I'm glad we got the right head coach. I'm glad we got the right GM going in the right direction. I mean, it sucks that we might lose Kafka and Wink down the line, but I feel like the culture is embedded in. So I'm not
worried about it. I'm really not. Yes, I'm not. Am I going to be happy if we lose Kafka next year? No, I don't think we're going to lose Wink. But if we lose Kafka next year, am I going to be happy? No. I still don't think we're going to. I think eventually we will. But this is something that happens to the best teams. Bill Belichick lost. Look at all the coaches that Bill Belichick lost over the course of his career, right? If you got the right guy in charge, he knows how to designate.
He's going to run the show.
Yeah, and get the most out of his coaches and players. So I'm not worried about it. I think the Giants will be just fine.
Facts. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I came to say that we were the Friday the 13th for the Vikings, and the news for them was no injured players for the Giants. That was the Friday 13th for the Vikings fans out there, everybody. So that was one thing that I was so happy seeing all the Giants fans, Giants players available. I've been doing a lot of research on the Vikings channel too. They're just pulling everybody out. I feel like the Vikings are just desperate right now. They already know what's coming. It's inevitable. Stop trying to fight it off. X factors for the game. My big X factor. He's going to put us in the book bag and carry us to school tomorrow. That's what he's going to do.
I'm with you. I think Saquon tomorrow, and I said it on Bobby and Justin's channel. Bobby asked me, he said, which player, if it's not Daniel Jones, that was the caveat. He said it's not because obviously the quarterback's always going to get a lot of the talk after the game. Excluding Daniel Jones, who's going to be the most talked about player on Monday? Right there. I think Barkley, everything sets up well for him in this game. Like the way they've started to utilize him in the offense down the stretch, they've made it a point to try to get him the ball out in open space in the passing game. And you started to see that burst come back in recent weeks, and they've saved him up for the playoffs. On turf in a dome with a little bit of faster surface, I think Saquon Barkley is going to have a monstrous performance tomorrow. Huge game.
I do too. I agree with you on that. I also think Daniel Jones is going to have a phenomenal day. I think we all know Daniel Jones plays good inside domes where there's no factors to the air going on. He performs well. So I'm very looking forward to see how Daniel Jones. I'm really looking forward to the play call from Kafka. That's really just gonna let me. And I feel like the Giants have been conservative with their playbook the whole season, so teams couldn't really figure them out. So now it's the time where it's just unleash
everything. They've opened
everything.
up the offense the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
they've started.
Don't hold anything back.
they've gradually done it all year. Like I thought it would come sooner. If I'm being honest, I thought it would be like around the bye week. I thought that's when they start to really open it up. But they've had a lot of injuries. They don't have the best of wide receivers. The offensive line's been so they gradually did it. And yeah, I think at this point you're starting to see more of a modern day offense. They're capable of beating you multiple ways, which is what you want to, in terms of an offense. They can beat you with both the run and the pass. And
True.
Daniel
Never
Jones'
concede.
legs. Daniel Jones' legs right now might be the best weapon on this football team.
I think that's the X factor too on offense. On the offensive side of the ball, if you factor in Daniel Jones is making decisions whether it's to run or pass or buy time to get his guys open, whatever his improvising this season is on a whole nother level. Like we haven't seen that from Daniel Jones, and that was one of the biggest traits that we needed from DJ to show us. He did, and that Colts game that we seen live, he was improvising all day. That the play that you said when he was getting sacked to his knees and he threw that laser beam, like that was insane. Like that was just totally insane to me. Like you said before, that interception, that Landon Collins interception, my ears were ringing. Like I couldn't even. that was insane. I was getting in a chokehold by a Giants fan. It was insane. That was like the greatest moment ever. I just want to say,
give me your final score. Give me your final score.
It takes so much of me to say 77-0 Giants, but I'm gonna say 27-17 Giants win by 2 possessions. It won't be we're gonna be comfortable. Giants are gonna get a nice defensive turnover, hopefully by Thibodeau. So
you're predicting the last play of this game is victory formation. Daniel Jones takes it.
Yes.
It out.
Either that or the Giants shut down the Vikings on a 4th down attempt. And like you said, victory formation. Yes.
Nothing would be better than a victory formation. That's my favorite way to close out a game. No stress. Victory formation. Take your knee, run out the clock. Let's go.
That's true.
Let's go.
Taina, love you, man. Keep the content going, man. Love everything you do, man.
It was a pleasure getting to meet you, and hopefully I get to meet you at another game soon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
we need you. I'm telling you, this guy is tall. We need wide receiver help. So
I'm Colin Johnson 2.0 right here.
Be
all right, Taina.
Be good. He was a nice guy. I got to meet him at the Giants game. Little Robbie says, "Is there any alternative to Neil Deargod?" No, there's no alternative. He's the guy. Matt Parrott or Phillips. Like, no, there's no alternative. He's going to be the right tackle, and there's going to be growing pains. He's a rookie. Next year, he's going to be a lot better. Alfonso says, "Do you think Wink doubles JJ with X and Jackson?" No, I don't know. I think they're going to use McKinney mainly on Hockenson. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they're going to do. I thought Nate brought up a good point. Maybe they use the second corner on Jefferson, and they double against Jefferson, but with the second corner, and they put Adoree on the second wide receiver. They might go that route. We'll see. They're certainly going to double Jefferson for the majority of the game. It's just a matter of how they go about doing it. But I think McKinney's going to be lined up on Hockenson for a lot of the game. And Michael, man, thank you, man. He said you should have an episode with Big Pat. I love Big Pat. Big Pat's a really nice guy. And yeah, I'd love to collab with him in the future. I see him on Twitter every now and again, and me and him agree on a lot of things. I think he's a nice guy, smart guy. So I've popped on his channel once or twice, but yeah, I'd like to have him on the channel. I like Big Pat. He's a nice guy. And Met says, "Could I have the link, please?" Yeah, I'll post the link real quick. Hold on one second. Link's right there. Right now the room's full, so you're not gonna be able to get in until some spots open up. But you could try to get in. Let's get Sean on the channel, man. What's going on, Sean?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, buddy?
Can you hear me all right?
I hear you loud and clear.
Beautiful, beautiful. How you doing, Chris?
We're playing the playoffs tomorrow. I'm freaking.
I know, man.
I'm on cloud nine.
I know. It's been 11 years since we won a playoff game, man.
Yeah, and hopefully we win 4 this year.
Oh, I know. I'm just hoping for that one. It's been a while since I've watched a playoff game and felt excited about the future. I guess in 2016 I did too. Hindsight sort of playing me there, but in 2016, even then, it feels different than it does now. 2016 was weird. It was a weird year, and I'm just so excited about the direction of this team and so proud that I want to get a win. But even if we do lose, which I'm not thinking about, but if it does happen, I'll still sort of kind of look at the season with a very positive outlook, considering I came in with pretty low expectations.
Yeah, the difference between 2016 and this year for me is like we're building towards hope. Like 2016 was always like a 2-year window type thing. Like we knew what we were doing. We were spending money on a ton of free agents, and it was going to get, and Eli was getting up there in age. So it was kind of like a last hurrah for Eli. And we were trying to, build a team for a short run. This is just the beginning of what we hope is a 10-year run. Like we're instilling a new culture, new coach, new GM. So this is a much better feeling for me than 2016. Obviously going into the playoffs, I had more. I probably had higher expectations going into the 2016 playoffs than I do with this because we're a young team. We've never been there before. Eli Manning had won 2 Super Bowls. We had a really good defense, yada, yada, yada. But in terms of the overall feeling about the team, I much more positive vibes this year than I did in 2016.
I also feel like that Packers team in 2016 was much stronger than the Vikings team this year.
Yeah.
Even though their records are probably similar. I just think the Vikings defense can definitely be exposed, especially their passing defense.
Yeah, I mean, plus we were playing in Lambeau, which is a really tough place to play in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers in his prime, like
playing Kirk Cousins, much different vibe,
much tougher opponent than this time around.
For sure. Oh man, I don't know. I'm nervous, man. The closer we get, the more nervous I get. I was feeling pretty good earlier in the week, but I want to get this win so bad.
You should be nervous, regardless of how positive you are going into this game. It's one and done. Everything's on the line tomorrow, so you should be nervous. That you wouldn't be a fan if you weren't.
For sure. What do you? Oh man, what do you think about our interior line? What do you? How do you think they're going to perform tomorrow? Ours.
I think it's still a big question mark. You talk about something that we need to address in the offseason. That's it. But we got to go with what we got in this game. And I'm nervous about it. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely. But I will say, in terms of run blocking, they've actually done a pretty good job this year. But it's the pass protection that worries me. Jones, though, in recent weeks has made them look a lot better in terms of being able to buy time, sense the pressure in the pocket, roll out. So the line has looked better. I think a lot of that has to do with Jones himself. But the interior offensive line is still a big priority in the offseason.
Yeah, that's where I feel like the game's going to be won right there. Is if we can create running lanes, if we can just hold long enough, like you said, with Jones rolling out. Hopefully, we'll see some of that this game, and then he can decide to either throw or run. Just having that option is just so strong. It's definitely, I think, one of the biggest reasons our offense has opened up a lot this past couple of weeks. Just having that option to throw or run the ball with DJ just changes the whole like scheme, really. Everything about that.
Legs changes everything. I think that's the X factor to our offense,
and it's never really been utilized the last couple of years at all. Like,
I think it's being utilized out of necessity. There's certain quarterbacks that I feel have to run to be successful. I don't think Jones is one of those quarterbacks. I think he has to run to be successful in this offense
to mask the deficiencies.
But I think if you get Jones the help that he needs, that any decent quarterback would need. Yeah, he's still going to use his legs, but he's not going to run for 750 yards. But I think we have to use that weapon because of all
we don't really have many choices. Yeah.
We don't have. Yeah, that's our best weapon right now.
Yeah, I know. And in this game, in past games, you always want your quarterback to be safe, but in past games this year, I'm always like, all right, we got it. We get down, you're good. But in this game, I just want Deion Jones to give it all he has, truck people down, just do anything.
And I'm sure he will. I mean, we've seen
I can't wait.
He's put his body on the line before in games that meant much less. So I'm sure he will. He's going to do what he's got to do.
I hope he learns to slide. Like, if you can slide. But, fight for those extra yards.
He's gonna. He's gonna. I don't want to take unnecessary hits, but he's going to do what he's got to do to pick up the yards. But, so you told me what you're nervous about. What are you positive about? Like, what in this game do you say?
Oh, actually, it's the same thing, but on the other side. I'm nervous about our interior offensive line, but I'm very, very excited because I think we're going to be able to get pressure on their interior offensive line.
Yeah.
And especially their right tackle, right? Isn't their right tackle their third string?
Yeah, it was going to be the third. Now supposedly it's the second string. Regardless, it's a backup who's not very good.
Right.
So we should be able to take advantage of that.
To get pressure. Yeah. So that's where I think like the game's won on both sides is who can get pressure in the interior and on the outside. with the right tackles. Both teams kind of have weaker right tackles, pretty weak interior lines, but obviously they have much stronger weapons. But I think that if it comes down to which quarterback gets pressured the most and which can play better based off of that pressure, and if it comes to that,
Jones.
Jones, exactly, because he can exactly. So that's the confidence I have. We'll just see if I'm just hoping that no drops, like please no big drops. That's that's got me nervous for sure. But I think that if we can get pressure on Kirk Cousins, make him make mistakes, we got this game.
Give me a final.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be. I'm going to go 23-20 Giants.
As long as they win, I don't care what the final is. I
don't care.
I want another crack at the Eagles. So you got you got a 23-20. I think I got a 27-23. So we'll see. I want to say thank you for the support on the channel. Thank you for calling in. And enjoy the game tomorrow, man. We don't get these often. It's been 6 years, so enjoy the game tomorrow.
I would, man. Nothing but a win.
Too stressed out. Try to enjoy the game a bit.
Oh, I'm excited, but if we win, the feeling is going to be so euphoric. I can't. We got to get this. Let's go Giants.
Let's go Giants, man. Be good, buddy. All right. That was fun, man. Let's get Big Boo in the Bronx on, man.
Hey, what's up, Tana?
Good to see you, man. How you been?
I've been good. Just got back from Florida, so now we're all pumped up for Giants football.
What were you doing in Florida?
I was with two friends of mine. We actually met up with Nate, who was on here before.
Oh, Nate. Okay, cool.
And we went to a sports bar for the Giants game. We got terrible service, but it was a fun experience overall. So, there's that. But I feel like we have some more pressure on the fan base and our image across the NFL. And I'll explain why. Look at the games that we've seen so far, right? We got Jacksonville's getting their asses kicked. We got, let's see, what was the other game that was really there? The 49er game where they kicked the Seahawks' ass.
Right.
Tomorrow's 1:00, which is the Dolphins game. So a lot of people are looking at us to be that competent game. Now, obviously, Dallas-Tampa Bay is a separate entity, and it could be a very good game, but a lot of people are going to be watching our game because they know, listen, everybody's healthy or most of the people healthy. So people might change their opinion or may stay the same on the Giants. I'm just going to prepare y'all for that.
How do you feel going into the game?
Nervously excited is two words I'll put into a phrase, and I'll throw it out there. Nervously excited because as much as we can win this game, and I'm picking our Big Blue New York Giants to win, this still gives me the what ifs of last time because we had that game in the bag in some different areas, but two dropped interceptions, an interception on a penalty, and I'm worried about like one thing each, one on defense, one on offense. Evan Neal on the right side. I'm not necessarily too worried about the interior. So there's that. And then defensively, just how much one impacts. Like, for instance, Justin Jefferson, is he going to have the game he had last time? I don't think so. But then again, there's also TJ Hawkinson. So you either double one guy and have Hawkinson one-on-one with a safety or a corner, or you just play zone. But I think the Giants need to play more press man this game, especially with McKinney and Adoree back. I mean, I was talking to a Vikings guy earlier this morning for my show, and he said the formula that the Packers had against Justin Jefferson, though it's Jair Alexander, was double and press and frustrate Justin Jefferson. Now, obviously, we don't have a Jair Alexander, but I would like that whole game plan to be similarly instituted and just rely on the front four, because I think that's going to happen more this game. I mean, he'll send the blitzes, but they ran a lot of screens last time, which worries me. I mean, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I saw Justin post a stat this week in terms of the amount of cushion we gave Justin Jefferson on average last time around, and I think it was like 8 yards per snap or 7 yards, but like it was something ridiculous. And then he posted what the Packers did, and it was like less than half of what we gave. Like you said, they ran a lot of press. They tried to disrupt his routes. And I expect that's what the Giants are going to do this time around. I don't think they're going to give him as much room. And, I think we're going to try to copy exactly what the Packers did. And we'll see how the Vikings adjust to that. And I think you were starting to say the same. I've said that all week. I think the Vikings are going to try to run a lot of bubble screens, a lot of wide receiver screens, much like Aaron Rodgers did. Remember that Packers game in the first half where basically every throw was like was 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, and they were all bubble screens down the field, and he was shredding our defense until we made adjustments in the second half. I expect a very similar approach by the Vikings in this game. I'm not saying they're not going to take some shots, but I think they're going to try to get the ball out quick and get their talented wide receivers out in space.
Yeah, I mean, for the Giants aspect, I expect maybe a little bit of the same, the quick passes, the slants, and all that stuff that worked the last time. I'm going to say that the Vikings will actually game plan better for the swing passes to Barkley, because I know we did that against the Commanders a lot. We did that against the Vikings a lot. And it's just going to be interesting to see, who gets the ball first and how the tone is set. I think you answered this before with somebody else. But do you believe this is going to be more like the last time, like a passing shootout, or is it going to be more use the running backs like Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley?
I think it's going to be more balanced. I don't think it's going to be a game where we run 60% of the time, but I think it's going to be more balanced on both sides, actually. I think both teams are going to play it a little bit closer to the vest. I think both teams are going to try to limit turnovers, and I think the Giants are going to try to win the time of possession. So last time we ran only 33% of the time, and we threw it 67% of the time. I think it'll be more like 55-45 pass to run. I think it'll be a more balanced approach this time. I think they'll get Barkley more involved in the run game and Jones more involved in the run game.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well. And just one more thing that really doesn't have to do with this game, but it's still a Giant subject, so I'd like to touch on it. And I've been in several different streams, wanted to get the chat and your opinion, of course. What do you think of this whole McKinney-Love debate in terms of keeping a safety?
I think it's a great topic, and it's something I'm definitely going to talk extensively about in the offseason. I'll definitely have an individual video out on that topic, talking about the safety position and what it means if we bring back Julian Love. I think they're going to have to pick one or the other. I really do, and it depends on what Julian Love's contract is, I suppose. But I'm projecting Julian Love's contract is going to be 8 to 10 per, and I don't know how long the contract's going to be. But and if you pay Jones, which I think you probably agree with me, we're going to. It's just a matter of, again, how long the contract's going to be. But if you pay Jones and you pay Barkley and you pay Love, how much money are you going to dedicate? And you give an extension to Lawrence, which I think has to happen. How much money are you going to dedicate to the safety spot? So it's something that Joe Shane has to think about. Because before the year started, I would have said there's no way we're bringing back Julian Love. I would have been surprised because in the back of my head, I'm like, McKinney's a long-term piece. Like, how much money are you going to put to the safety position? Julian Love's played really well. They think very highly of him. He's a captain. Shane's talking nothing but great things about him. And then McKinney goes off and has the ATV incident. And we've seen what this Giants regime has been when it comes to
accountability.
Yeah, accountability. So I don't know. I'm hoping McKinney's here long-term. I love McKinney. But I don't think it's nearly as much of a sure thing as I did before the year started that McKinney's going to be here long term. I'm still leaning he will be, but it's far from a sure thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, before I let some other callers on, just to give my thoughts on the whole thing, is obviously we had the McKinney incident. It was stupid, cost us a couple of games, but now we're in the playoffs, so we're like not thinking about it. It's something we can laugh off of. But a lot of people were saying, first of all, I think a lot of Giant fans overrated the way Julian Love has played this year. He's had his best season, no doubt, but to say he's Pro Bowl,
not Pro Bowl,
not in that fashion.
I'd rather keep McKinney, by the way.
And yeah. Yes, I think McKinney has more talent. It's just I think a lot of people see similar, I would say, roles for both of them. Maybe not. I'm going out on a limb here in this scheme, because you saw McKinney with Patrick Graham's scheme. He was a ball hawk. Hasn't necessarily been a ball hawk in this defensive scheme. And I mean, Love has 2 interceptions on the year, but I guess that's where people are saying, "Oh, I'd rather take Love over McKinney." I think McKinney has more talent, and you could find a Julian Love at some point. But this defensive staff does love him at the same time.
Yeah. We'll see, but that to me is a really good topic. And I think the Barkley discussion will be a good topic in the offseason. All the contracts, the Jones contract, like there's going to be a lot to talk about in terms of what their path is and how they evaluate these players, how much they give these players. Those are the 3 key guys. It's Love, it's Barkley, it's Jones. Those are the 3 key decisions going into the offseason. But we got a big game tomorrow, and I'll worry about that hopefully in a month when we win the Super Bowl. But I think tomorrow we got a good shot, and I think Daniel Jones is going to show up in a big way. I really do. I think Jones is going to have a good game tomorrow, and I think Giants are getting to the second round of the playoffs.
I hope so. I'm picking them to win 24-20, and also something to throw in there if anyone hasn't been reminded already. Not saying it will, and all Giants fans will have a heart attack if that happens. The overtime rules, remember, they've altered them. So both.
was having this conversation. I think it was on Twitter. Maybe it was on a live. Actually, it was on my live stream last night. Somebody asked me, and my initial quick reaction was you start with the ball. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, with the rule changes, I don't know
Like
if I would
deferring
want
to
to
the
start
second
with the ball.
half.
Yeah, I don't know because here's the thing: if you get the ball second, you know what you need, and even if they score a touchdown, now you have 4 downs to score as opposed to 3, right? Because the game's over if you don't score. So part of me is like, it's an advantage to if I'm Dable and knowing Dable, especially because the game's on the road. If we kick, and I hope it doesn't go to overtime. I don't want that stress. But if we kick off in overtime and they score a touchdown, I think Dable would go for 2 if we scored the touchdown. I don't think he would kick off and allow them to go 40 yards to kick a game-winning field goal. I think he'd go for the 2. And knowing that, if I'm Dable and he feels that way, I'd rather get the ball second. Because then I have the opportunity to win the game on the drive anyway. If my opinion is I'm going to go for 2. If I could stop them and I need a game-winning field goal, great. But if that's my mindset going in, I think I'd rather kick off in overtime.
Yeah, if we won the toss, I'd probably do that too. Once again, it's just like deferring to the second half. And even though the Giants have been on the up in terms of offense the last few weeks, it's not like the Vikings. So I'd rather just play in that case conservative. But if I'll take a second to answer that question. I mean, I don't really care what the analysts say, even if they pick us to win.
Shane said, yeah, he says, you nervous a lot of analysts taking the Giants. I'm not. And I know we rally around that. Yes, and I do too.
Mentality.
It's fun. I do too. But at the end of the day, what the analysts say, what the fans say, it means nothing. It's what the players and the coaches do. And listen, this team's been doubted all year. Even if they're starting to get some praise, they're not going to forget about what people said about them all year leading up into this playoff drive. They've had that instilled in their head all year. People have doubted us all year. We're not supposed to be here. We got to keep proving people wrong. So what the analysts say, what the fans say, I don't think it has any bearing on what happens on the field tomorrow. I think this team's going to give it everything they got.
Yeah, and just 1 second, real quickly. There was a clip that someone clipped on Twitter of Ed Donatel, who's the defensive coordinator of the Vikings, and he looked a little bit nervous talking about Patrick Peterson and Dalvin Tomlinson basically calming guys down because some of the guys' first time in the playoffs. Like, I didn't watch all the Dable press conferences, but it seems like they're a little bit more nervous than we are. I'm just going to...
I hope you're right, man. Dable looked like he was calm, cool, and collected. I saw his latest press conference. He's been that way all year. I mean, when he's been pressed in these press conferences, he's taken every game, and in the back of his head, I'm sure he doesn't. But the way he presents himself, and I'm sure the way he presents himself to the team, just get better every week. Every week, just get better every week. He's not. I think he's gonna have this team ready. I think he's ready, and I think this team is gonna go out there and perform well tomorrow. I really do.
I think so as well.
Give me the X factor in this game for you. Give me the
X factor. All right. I'm going to actually do one offense, one defense. I'm going to say Saquon offensively, and defensively, I would pick Adoree Jackson because that's like the main obvious one. But at the same time, I think I'll go with one of the edge rushers, because if you're putting Adoree Jackson, they have to get home. They have to get home. They have to take advantage, and obviously they'll have some chips on the right side with one of their, the right tackle being out, but the edge has to get home. The interior has to get home. So I think that's my defensive X factor. Offensively, it's going to be Saquon Barkley.
Saquon, yeah, I agree. I agree with Saquon or Evan Neal. He can't get destroyed on the right side. But defensively, I think McKinney is actually my X factor, because Hockenson is that secondary option that I worry about. Because Jefferson's going to get his 100 yards. I don't want to get torched by 2 receivers in their lineup. And Hockenson the last time around torched us. And I think McKinney could maybe go a long way towards minimizing his effectiveness a bit. So part of me is like, is McKinney the X factor in this game? But we'll see. I'm really excited to see how it all plays out. I think it's going to be a great game tomorrow. I think it's going to be close, like every Giant and Viking game is. And hopefully we come out on top. But, man, thanks for calling in. Enjoy the game tomorrow. It's always a pleasure getting to talk Giants with you. Met you several times in person. Looking forward to going to training camp with you again this year.
Peace out, Tana. Peace out, chat. Let's go Big Blue.
Be good, man. And Shane, thank you again, man. I appreciate it. Let's get to Philip's been a long time subscriber of mine. I got to get him on, man. He's always supporting the channel. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's going on, Chris?
You ready to roll?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not worried at all about this game. You know why? Because I didn't hear about any boat trips.
You're right. No boat trips, no fireworks, no ATVs. Nope. We haven't heard any of that this year.
Nope.
The only thing people complained about was what Nick Gates said about the opposing team's crowd. So
I don't
that's
care
it.
about that.
That's it.
It's all talk. It's all
Yeah.
talk. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Dave's. I love him. He's got our team locked up. I'm not worried one bit about tomorrow. Not one bit. They're going to do really good. I have a great feeling. I held back this whole year because I was like,
I could tell in the comments in my videos, you were like, you in the past, you've been much more
Yeah.
outspoken in terms
Oh
of
my
your
God.
positivity. This year, you were a little bit more reserved.
oh yeah, because I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Well,
Like
it's a new
every
regime. You
time
want to
I
let it
thought
play
we would
out.
lose, we're winning, and like now all of a sudden, like we're just in the playoffs. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Nobody saw this. Well, some people did, but most people didn't see this coming. And
No.
it's been one of my favorite years as a Giants fan ever.
Oh.
Like it's been a really fun year.
This has been, to me, it's been even more special than it's 16 because I felt like 16 we had like all those, the free agents, and I'm like, yeah, they're kind of helping out, but it doesn't feel like it's the whole team, like they're just being the contributing factors. This team is all rookies, or at least people who were drafted. It's not. I mean, I do love though how we had to spend $72 million on a wide receiver to make one touchdown in the regular season. So.
Well,
That's
you can
why
blame
I'm not
Gettleman
worried.
for that one. You can't blame Shane for that one.
No, but if we're able to do that, I'm not worried about any contracts with Saquon or DJ. If we can make that kind of contract, we're going to be fine in the offseason when we get to that. So, yeah, I have full confidence in Shane and the whole team, all the coaches. I do hope though. I really genuinely hope, even though it sounds mean, I really hope Kafka doesn't get any job whatsoever.
You and me
He
both.
just stays here.
Yeah, I don't want Jones to have another play caller next year in an ideal world.
No.
I mean,
No.
the guy's had 3 different guys in his year in his 4 years in the league. So
Yeah,
ideally, I want him back.
It'll screw us up. I really, I'm happy, but I'm not happy. I don't want to hear anything about Kafka getting interviews.
Yeah,
I really don't.
He could get interviews, just don't get the jobs. Ideally,
Right.
Hopefully he's back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just want to shout out Jay Boogie. I didn't see. Maybe I got to go back and look in the email, Jay Boogie. Maybe it's in my spam. I haven't seen. I know you sent me. You said you sent me a file for your song. I definitely want to play it. I got to go back in my email and look, but I haven't seen it. But I follow you now on Twitter, Jay Boogie, so you could send me a direct message on there as well. But he says, shout out to the chat and the panel. Time to go clean the house of a dirty Viking. Just everybody to know our future is bright. We are about to be a factor in this league from this year. I'm completely with you. The time is now. This team's only going to get better. We're in a really good spot right now as a franchise. I kind of like the Knicks. I think the Knicks are starting to trend up too. I know you're a big Knicks fan, Jay Boogie, and it's the same thing with the Giants, but probably even better because I feel like we got the right guys in place. We got the right GM. We got the right head coach. I think we're in a really good place. I think the Giants are definitely trending up.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's all that matters, really. Coach, GM, and obviously the players we draft. But, all said and done, Bill Belichick's an example. And guess who came from Bill Belichick?
I've said this all year, and I said it in a Twitter space like a week ago, and everybody's like, wow, that's a really good point. I've said this all year. I said it from like week 3 on. You brought up the Belichick thing. Both Joe Judge and Brian Dable learned under Bill Belichick.
Right.
One guy tried to impersonate Bill Belichick, and it felt like he didn't learn anything from him. Like he tried to just impersonate his hard attitude, his hard practices, but he wasn't himself.
No.
Dable is his own man, but he took things from Bill Belichick and he attributed them to his coaching style. You think back to when the Patriots were at their best. They take all these scrap heap guys that other people didn't want, and they got great production out of them. And that's exactly what the New York Giants have done with Brian Dable. And nobody's above the team. And it does feel like a similar culture to what the New England Patriots had, where we're going to put the best. We don't care about how much money you make. We don't care about where you were taken in the draft. We're going to put the guys that we feel could do the most for this football team and could help this team win football games. And that, to me, is what he learned from Bill Belichick.
Oh, 100%. And, I was actually a Joe Judge fan. I really was. And I'm really sad he didn't work out. But like you said, he tried to be Bill Belichick when he could have just been himself. But I felt like he wasn't actually ready. He just made a good first impression.
Yeah.
And I do believe, though, if he does learn, he can be a great head coach. But he's not going to be that way for a little while. So
not here. Maybe in the
definitely
future.
Not here. We're happy with Dave's. I'm
Yeah.
happy with Diggs. I love him.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you. I think Judge has potential. He just wasn't ready.
No, absolutely not. And yeah, he was just that whole last interview he did. I lost. I got a sour taste in my mouth with that one. That one really. Yeah,
And
that's
the
so.
QB sneak. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, that was play calling. I mean, whatever. He was a freaking special teams guy. So I'm not gonna judge him on that.
Give me your final score tomorrow.
27-17 Giants.
I think somebody else said that too. So that seems to be a popular
I
score.
love it.
By
That's gonna
10.
be it.
I love it. I want to say thank you for all the support you always show on the channel.
Same
Yeah,
to you, man.
hopefully they
You
get
do a
this
good
win.
job.
Appreciate
I'll see you
it, man.
tomorrow.
Hopefully we get this win tomorrow, man. Be good, man. Enjoy the
Absolutely.
game.
Let's go.
Philip's awesome. Thank you for calling in, man. MYG31, man. Thank you so much, man, for the 99-cent donation. And Abe says, glad DL made Dexter Lawrence made the old pro. How is AD ahead of him, though? Aaron Donald, yeah, this year, Aaron Donald's obviously the best ever interior defensive lineman. But this year, I agree with you. I think Dexter Lawrence deserved the nod. He's been the best interior defensive lineman this year, and he's been incredible. I'm just glad he got recognition, like you said. Second team All-Pro is pretty damn good. Andrew Thomas as well. Both of them got named to the second team All-Pro, and it's good to finally see some New York Giants on that list. It's been a long time coming. Trixie says, is the StreamYard open? If so, can I get the link? I'll post the link again. Right now it's full, and I don't know how long I'm going to be on here today. I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. So if you try to hit that link, you're not probably going to be able to enter because I got a full room behind me, but I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. Let's get to Joshua Cohen.
What's up, Chris?
What's going on?
How you doing?
I know you're ready.
I am. 113-0 Giants. No, but do you know the Bears SNL like skits in the 80s with
Of course.
Norm from
The
Cheers?
Bears, of course.
The Bears. 113-7. The Bears.
How you feeling though? How you feeling going in? You nervous? You're excited? How you feeling?
Nervous and excited.
Yeah.
I think we match up really well in Minnesota. We should have won last time if we did turn the ball twice in their territory, and if Cordell Flott knows how to catch footballs, and we would have won.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we turned the ball over 3 times last time, and we went toe-to-toe. We played them all the way down to the wire, and we're playing our best football. So I really don't see any reason why anybody should be going into this game thinking we can't win. I could understand some fans being like we're going in way too confident, but I definitely think we got a good chance to win tomorrow. And that's all you could ask for as a Giants fan going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think we have a great chance to win. I will say one thing that I'm a little worried about is Vikings have who's just Irv Smith also, who's a solid tight end. So that's kind of like 2 tight ends we have to deal with. He was in the last matchup because he was hurt. So, not the greatest receiving tight end in the world, but still definitely someone that we need to kind of make sure we don't I don't want to just like focus so much on Hawkinson that we let Irv Smith beat us. I want to make sure we pay some attention to him.
He's a former second-round pick, Irv Smith. Yeah, he's talented.
And, I will say this with Kafka. Obviously, I don't want him to go, but it wouldn't be as bad if we lost him because, when you look at Pat Shurmur's offense, that was like really kind of Pat Shurmur's offense.
Well, he was the head coach.
Yeah. When you look at, the offense of the Jason Garrett, a lot of that was probably really like Jason Garrett's offense. Joe Judge is the most offensive guy. He does a lot of everything. He did some defense, special teams, or like a wide receivers coach. This offense, well, I'm sure, some of it is Kafka. A lot of it's probably Brian Dable. And, I feel like if, Kafka leaves, it's still going to be a very similar offense. Dave will probably just like promote the quarterback's coach. So it wouldn't be as bad. Obviously, I still really like Kafka, so I wouldn't want him to go. But I don't think it'd be the end of the world if he left.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. It's why I wanted Dable in the first place. If we end up losing Kafka, I think we have the head coach in place that could run a good offense. So I'm in complete agreement with you. It's why I wanted an offensively minded head coach in the first place. So I think we'll be fine. Maybe there's a bit of a hiccup there at the beginning of the year as they get accustomed to a new play caller. But overall, I think it'll be a very similar system if we lose Kafka or if we don't.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty similar. I do think, I don't know, maybe we go hire like an outside guy. But I kind of think, who's the QB coach?
Tierney. I think it'll be Tierney, the QB
Yeah,
coach.
I think it'd be Tierney too. But
It,
that's
it only makes
exactly
sense. I mean, you talk about how Jones has had complete instability his entire career. If you're gonna have to make a change at the OC, at least a guy that's been his quarterback coach, who he's worked with, it only makes sense. I think that'll be,
yeah,
and plus he's got ties to Buffalo, so
yeah. I mean,
I think that's obvious. I think
best
that's
case
what they do.
best case scenario is Kafka leaves after the Giants average 45 points a game in the playoffs and win their 5th Super Bowl.
Yeah, sign me up for that, man. He'd go get his job at that point.
Daniel Jones could pass Eli Manning's postseason passing yards in a single postseason and throw for like 20 touchdowns, and they're still going to be Daniel Jones haters.
Oh, listen, that's just the way it works, man. He plays the most important position. He's the quarterback. It's New York. It's a demanding fan base. He could make. I mean, Eli Manning was a 4-time Pro Bowler. He won 2 Super Bowls. There were still people that doubted him every step of the way.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's been a roller coaster for me. Rookie year, obviously I saw the turnovers and I didn't like that, but I also saw that, he threw 24 touchdowns. He had some really great games. I was pretty high on him. Of course, he had that very first game of his career. And then he had the, last couple years that wasn't so great. I was kind of down on Daniel Jones. And I wouldn't say I was a hater, but I wasn't like thinking, I didn't want him back. And I didn't think he'd be back. But now I'm back on the Daniel Jones train. Like, I don't think he's going to be a franchise guy, not yet. He still has some more
he
convincing
could
to
be.
do.
I want to find. I want to find out what he could be.
I think if San Francisco had Daniel Jones, they'd be as good or even better. They would probably be better right now than they are with Brock Purdy. Like, San Francisco would be like they
They'd be the
wouldn't lose a
favorites to win the
step.
Super. They'd be the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
I mean, Daniel Jones would probably be a Pro Bowler.
No, he definitely would be if he was a 49er. I mean, it's hard
Yeah,
not to. With
I
that,
mean, with
with that.
fellow South Carolina Gamecock great Debo Samuel.
Oh, he's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from I go to South Carolina, so I've always loved Debo. I was a big fan before I went to the school. Now I go to the school. So yeah, I've always loved Debo. I just hope he does it. Go to a division rival. Love him to be a Giant one day. Probably will happen, but if he is, I'm getting that jersey the night of the signing or whenever it first is available because I am a huge Debo fan.
Give me your final score tomorrow.
I think it's going to be the same as first game except reversed, 27-24 Giants. I don't know about a 61-yarder, but I see like a game winner from Gano. I mean, I'd rather it. I saw like your first person say that he wants the 59-yard game-winning field goal. I mean, if we do that, I'd be okay with that, but I'd rather like
27
38-17.
yards. Nice and simple.
Yeah, or I'd just rather 38-17.
Oh yeah, I don't want to drag. I don't want a game that goes down to the wire. I expect that, but I don't want it.
Yeah. But I do think it's going to go down the wire. Minnesota is really talented. I just don't think we're like that type of team. I could be wrong. I just don't think we're that type of team that's going to like blow them away. Like, they're not the Colts. They have Jefferson. As bad as their defense is, they still have some solid pass rushers that can, get to our not so good O-line. But I'm really looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be a good game. Hopefully, we don't turn the ball over again, and hope Cordell Flott's been practicing catching the ball.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much time he gets out there. But I'm going to let you go just because I got a lot of people trying to get in. I'm trying to get everybody in. But thank you for calling in. Enjoy the game tomorrow. And hopefully I see you in the stream, buddy.
All righty. See ya.
Be good, man. Thanks for calling in. All right. Let's get to – I know DJ's been waiting for a while. Let's get him in here. What's going on, man?
Boy, what's going on, Chris? What's up, man?
You ready to roll?
More, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, ready for the more, man. What's going on, Chris? I'm watching the game right now. I'm watching this game right now, by the way. But
I see that the Jacksonville's
my boy. Yeah, man. Watch my boy, number 10. Ooh! Oh, man. I'm sorry. Anyways, man, what's going on, man? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to go, man. I'm excited. We got our first playoff game in 6 years.
Playoff football, man. I've been waiting a long time, 6 years of my life to get here, bro, right? So, I'm just ready for it. You know what I'm saying, man? Deep is gonna eat them all, man. Deep is gonna eat them all. That's how I see it. Fresh bodies to go. Saquon gonna go and eat. Daniel Jones should be Mr. Efficient tomorrow, right? Right, you know what I'm saying? And then hopefully we'll come out with the win, man.
That's all I care about. I don't care how you do it. I don't care about style.
Man. One thing that I noticed too, man, you don't really care about these goddamn stats. Okay, Herbert. Okay. You don't really care about these like goddamn stats though, about like his stats or whatever. Or no,
I just want them to win. I just want them to win the game.
Yo, man, like you don't really care about. You don't really like yo, Chris. You don't really care about like I noticed that your coaching philosophy is not about 300 yards, 40 touchdowns.
No, it's not.
10 interceptions. It's not on some Pat Mahomes, Peyton Manning level greatness. And
it's win football games. It's not just about the quarterback. It's win football games.
So why do you think the quarterback gets talked about so much in the media and in the era we compare?
Because the people have said it all the time. It's the old adage: the quarterback when the team wins gets way too much credit, and the quarterback when the team loses gets way too much blame. It's like people. There's people in the chat. There's people on Twitter already saying Brock Purdy's a great quarterback. No, Brock Purdy's in a great situation. He's making the most out of it. It's a team game. Football is the ultimate team sport.
So you think all of these quarterbacks that we talk about all need scheme, all need coaching, all need development,
of course,
all need everything needs to work out in each and every
let's look at it. And I'm not saying Daniel Jones is as talented as Pat Mahomes. He's not, but let's look at it. Pat Mahomes has Andy Reid. Andy Reid's one of the greatest.
And to you, Andy Reid is one of the best coaches to ever play.
No, not to me. To anybody. To anybody. Andy Reid made Alex Smith the Pro Bowler. He made Alex Smith the Pro Bowler. He made Donovan McNabb a Pro Bowler. You look at Josh Allen.
Josh Allen,
he had our coach now. He had Brian Dable.
So okay, and you think Dable has developed quarterbacks and developed coaching? And
I mean, he did a great job with Alabama with Tua. He did.
So right now, like what he's doing with Jones does not even surprise you because he did it before. Like he did it, like he developed guys before. Yeah,
coaching's important, man. Shanahan with the 49ers. You look what he's doing with Purdy. Like coaching's important.
No, man. Yeah, facts, man. Yo, man, I see this game, bro. 30-10 Giants, man. Blowout.
I love your confidence, man. I hope you're right.
Chris. I personally think we're gonna pick up Kirk Cousins a lot tomorrow. It's gonna be like this Jaguar Charger game, Niner CO game earlier, man. It's gonna be one of them games for us, man. It's gonna be one of them days for us, man. It's gonna be a total start to finish beat down Giants, man. And I'm just ready to go, man. 6 years, going to the bar tomorrow, putting on that Daniel Jones jersey, regardless about how I feel. I just want him to win. I want him to be great. I want him to be elite so that I can sit there and be like, DJ, you was wrong, bro. You was wrong, bro. And the chat is already, stats, all of them already get on me, man, saying about all this, man. Listen, man.
You got the Giants winning 30-10. That's all I care about. You're excited for the game. And let's get ready for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's win tomorrow and get ready for the Eagles.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So enjoy the game.
And real quick,
yeah,
I got 2 comments to tell you.
Okay.
First comment is, you said Daniel Jones would be good on the Minnesota Vikings.
Of course you would.
New York Jets.
Of course you would.
And you said he will be good on the San Francisco 49ers.
I'd be good on the San Francisco 49ers.
His stats will look much better than what he's on the New York Giants. He will be a different quarterback.
Of course your stats will look better. Do you see the weapons the 49ers have? Do you see the offensive play call the 49ers have? They're throwing a McCaffrey. They're throwing a Debo. They're throwing a Ayuk. They're throwing a Kittle. Of course his stats will look better in San Francisco. Do you think Jalen Hurts all of a sudden just became this incredible quarterback, or he got A.J. Brown? Do you think Tua Tagovailoa just suddenly became this incredible quarterback, or he got Tyreek Hill? Weapons matter.
Needs weapons.
Needs weapons.
You're saying the stats will come next year once we give him the weapons that is provided for him to come.
He will have better stats next year if you get him a real number 1 wide receiver.
Better stats.
Yeah.
I mean, and hold on. Why do you think Brian Dable is running the ball now and he's not going back to his Buffalo days? Why is he not treating him like Josh Allen and saying, yo, you got to throw the ball 40 times all over?
All right, here's what I'm going to show you, and then we're going to end this. We're going to end. Hold on.
Why do you think Brian is not treating
all right. Let me ask you this.
Josh Allen, Tua, and like Jalen Hurts back in Alabama. Go ahead.
All right, let me ask you this, DJ. You say that with Brian Dable, they were this team that all they did was throw. They didn't go to the run. Yada 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 yada. Right?
The Bills, right?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Us the Bills.
I'm gonna show you a stat. Josh Allen, and we can agree that Brian Dable's been there since the start. That's why they hired him. They wanted him to mold Josh Allen, right? I'm gonna show you Josh Allen's second year. I'm going to show you his second year before he got Stephon Diggs. Okay?
Yeah.
You say that all they did was throw the ball, right? Here's what the Buffalo Bills did his second year.
This is before Stephon Diggs got to the team. Got there.
We don't have receivers. You could agree with that, right?
No, that's correct.
Buffalo Bills, you know what they were in run frequency in 2019? Right here. 7th in the league. 7th. You know where the New York Giants are in run frequency this year? 8th.
Wow.
Then they got Stephon Diggs. Then they opened up.
Once they got Stephon Diggs, then he made Allen say, "Yo, have fun, have at it, and then go do."
You need weapons. You need weapons.
So you think Jones is not as bad as people think he is? You think he's a solid, good quarterback?
Of course, he's a good quarterback.
If you give him the weapons, he will eat.
He's a good quarterback. Get him some help. But I'm
All
gonna
right,
let you.
Chris,
I'm gonna let you.
Chris, I'm gonna go. Yo, Chris, always good talking to you, man. I'll see you back in the spaces, man. You know, I got to go back debating on Herbert and Lawrence right now, man. So peace, man. Much love to you, bro.
Be good, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, but no doubt.
So he's very anti-DJ, but he's very pro-Giant. He's got the Giants winning 30-10. John Letourneau.
Yo, stand up, the entertainer. What's up, my man?
I'm getting ready to take you guys on in a week.
Oh man, yo, I gotta put this in perspective. I'm not here to troll you. I infiltrated enemy lines. I can't believe I'm in enemy territory. The Giants' house. This is what we're gonna do, right? I'm gonna put this in perspective really quick for you. Since 1999, all the way up to the present day, the Eagles and Giants have owned the NFC East because we went to 4 Super Bowls between the two of us.
Yeah.
Eagles went to 6 NFC championships. We finally won our first Super Bowl. And without the Giants winning the 2 Super Bowls, the Eagles would have ran rampant the whole 23 years rampant of the best team of the NFC East. But
I say it all the
the
time.
Giants are good. The Giants are good.
I say it all the time, John. I'm fair, and I hate you guys. I despise you guys. The Eagles, since I've been watching football, are the class of the NFC East. I hate to admit that. Now, you have not cashed in as much as the Giants have since I've been watching football.
Absolutely.
But in terms of consistency, like you said, with Andy Reid, you guys were going to NFC title games every other year. You guys, I think, how many times you guys won the division since 2000? Like 13? It's been a lot.
Yeah.
So I want to get to where you guys are. I want to start building this team the right way.
But here's what I think is going to happen, Chris. As bad as I want y'all to lose, because I hate you guys, that blue is disgusting. The blue, disgusting hat that you guys wear and that blue, you have great players. I love your players. I just hate that uniform, what it stands for, because the Eagles, like you said, since you've been watching football, have been the class act of this division. But having said that, I want you guys to go out there and destroy the Vikings. I want you guys to destroy them. Because first of all, when they came here in the NFC Championship game, they try to mess around with the Rocky statue and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're disrespectful. So I want you to just to lay it on them so they can go home and cry, skull, skull, skull. They can cry in their own building. You'll be sending them home in their own building, which would be classic. And plus, we need a year. We can't go throughout this year without the Eagles and the Giants game meaning something. Because the first 2 times we played this year, it didn't mean anything.
There was no juice.
There was no juice. So, Chris, can you please do me a favor? As bad as I want you to lose, as bad as I want you and Bad Dog to cry on the stream tomorrow, I want you to win so bad. So you come, because it's already set. You are coming to Lincoln Financial Field, and we're going to put you back. We're going to do the same thing, probably maybe a little bit worse than we did it up in MetLife Stadium.
Let me ask you,
Lane Johnson's back. Lane Johnson's back. Josh Sweat's going to be back. Jalen Hurts may be you don't know if they're playing smoke and mirror because he can't. Like I know Sirianni's been criticized for letting Lincoln say Jalen Hurts. You don't know if that's BS or not because you don't want to give out information. He could be telling the truth, but who knows? But in that last game that you guys were, your backups did do decent. But that was a vanilla thing. We can't show a potential opponent in the playoffs that Jalen Hurts can run again or put the fear of God in you guys again and have Dable go back and no, we gotta ease you guys in. All you gotta do is do your part tomorrow. I don't want to hear no excuses for this is Dable's first year. No. You can't get away with that. You're not gonna get off that easy because the Giants, as a fan base, as a historian of the Giants, have been great, have great teams, great talent, great players. You better win tomorrow, so you come to the link, so I can put you in your place, and finish off the year with the Eagles' second Super Bowl within 5 years.
And here's what I'm going to say, John. The Philadelphia Eagles have given me the worst memories of my sports life. The worst. And I would like nothing more to have the opportunity to go to the link in a game where we're playing with house money, where nobody would give us a chance to win, with all the pressure in the world on the Philadelphia Eagles, when everybody would give us no chance whatsoever in a game in which if we lost, who cares? The team had no business making the second round of the playoffs at the beginning of the year anyway, with all the pressure on Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, and the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that we went up against the last week of the regular season with third-string players, and we took them down to the wire. I would like nothing else to get that opportunity. So sign me up.
Yeah, that's what I hope for. And hey, one more thing before we go, Chris. The NL East is going to be tough again, baby.
Oh, I'm looking
It's going to be tough. Phillies have made some good signings, man. It's going to be Mets, Phillies again. The Braves are going to be third spot in that division. That's my opinion.
I'm looking forward to talking Mets Phillies with you this year. It's going to be fun.
All right, buddy. Good luck tomorrow. You better not let me down tomorrow, Chris. I'm telling you.
I have a feeling we're not going to. I think we're going to get a Giants-Eagles game. And
31-10. 31-10. New York Giants. 31-10. Take that to the bank.
You're a lot more confident than I am, but I hope you're right.
No, because it's.
Let me ask you, John, and be honest with me. Be honest with me. You just played us, okay?
Right.
If the Giants win by the score that you just said, 31-10, let's play this hypothetical world. They look super impressive.
Right.
They win 31-10. You saw how our backups played against your team. Your Eagles were. I think you could agree with me. You guys weren't playing your best football at the end of the season.
No, absolutely.
Are you going into that game a little nervous?
Absolutely, because it's a rival. It's the Giants and Eagles. I'm not going to sit here and BS you and say that just because we blew you out before, if you beat them 31-10, we're going to be shitting our pants a little bit. It's going to be a tough game. I think, like I told Bad Dog, one of us is going to have a card. If y'all win tomorrow and when that game happens, which it should, one of us is going to have a cardiac arrest. It's either going to be Eagles fans or Giants fans, because it's going to end on something crazy, just like a Deshaun Jackson thing, or another miracle in Meadowlands, but it'll be here at the link. I don't know. Giants have never had something that has been a miracle against the Eagles, right?
That means we're due.
Nah. Maybe next year, Chris. But you're the man. But yeah, I'll be shitting bricks. I'm not gonna lie to you, because the Giants have been. That's our rival, man. You ain't the Cowboys. You ain't the Cowboys or the stinking Washington Commanders. We're the real rival to you guys.
I agree.
LT,
I've always
Reggie White, Eric Allen, Randall Cunningham.
I've always said that. We're close in terms of geography. I agree with you. I think Giants Eagles is the rivalry, our biggest rival.
And when you interview Carl Banks when he's on your channel, can you please ask him what happened when Cunningham shutted him off when he was going after Cunningham? Can you please ask him that question? I want to know what happened that Cunningham was able to get by Carl Banks. I love Carl Banks. He's one of my favorite Giants players
when I
of
when
all
I get
time.
when I get him on, hopefully next week, I'll be sure to ask him.
All right, Chris, you're the man. And stand up, show this man some love. He's a Giant fan, but at least you're not like a closet Eagle fan like Bad Dog is.
Be
You're the
good,
man,
John.
Chris.
Be good,
All right,
John.
later.
I'm looking forward to getting a chance to beat you guys in a week. Be
All
good,
right, see you then. All right.
John's a nice guy. Been with my channel forever. Let's get Ben on the channel. What's going on, Ben? Just unmute yourself, buddy. Ben, you sleeping?
Nah, I'm here. My bad.
What's going on, man?
Hey, how are you?
You ready to rock?
Oh yeah, can't wait.
So what's going on?
So the last game we played them, the Vikings, I think Justin Jefferson had a good game, but I don't think it was like one of his best games. I'm not as scared of him. Like he's gonna get his yards and he's gonna might get a touchdown. I'm more scared of Hawkinson.
Yeah, as am I. I mean well, I don't want to say I'm more scared of Hawkinson, but I know Jefferson's going to get his yards. I don't want another guy to go off on us because then it could be lights out. So that's why I say I'm more scared of Hawkinson going into this game because I know what Jefferson's going to do.
Yeah, he's gonna be good, but let's hope Adore's back and good to go.
We'll see. Give me your final score going into tomorrow.
24-19 Giants.
I pray you're right, man. I got to get to some people. It's getting late, but
Yep.
I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Yep.
Be good, buddy. Let me talk to the chat for a bit. Don't be scared. Be brave. What's going on, Davey, man? Thanks for popping in, buddy. Giants can't have any mistakes. Amazing guy says. We'll see. Hopefully not. I mean, it's obviously we don't have the most talent. It's a call-in show. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on because I started, I've been on now for over 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, but I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. Caleb, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in, buddy.
What's up, man?
Good to hear your voice. What's going on?
It's been a while. I can't remember the last time I called in, but I'm excited, but I'm so nervous, man. But this is like the best nervousness I think you could possibly have. The last playoff game, I was 14, so it's been a minute.
So now you're 20. Now you can appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah, I'm stressed, man, but I'm so excited. It's been a while.
What are you worried about tomorrow?
I think I've told you before, I'm just a pessimist. I think everything bad can happen. Even the Colts game where we start off, so I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be one of these games. Even after the first half, it was like 24-7 going into half. I'm like, something's going to go wrong. Something's always going to go wrong. And then sure enough, first play coming out of the second half, Darius Slayton fumbles at like the 20-yard line. And I'm like, oh, see? But then luckily they missed the field goal and everything. I was able to calm down from there. But honestly, watching the Jaguars play this game tonight, like anything that possibly happens tomorrow, it can't be worse than whatever Trevor Lawrence put out there in the first half.
Jaguars are at least making it a game now. I see it's 30-20 and they're driving, so maybe they'll make it a game.
Well, they are playing the Chargers. This is what the Chargers.
Yeah,
the Chargers are charging.
If the Chargers lose this game after what Trevor Lawrence did, they should be embarrassed.
Yeah,
I can't imagine they lose, but
you never know. I mean, crazier things have happened before. But I guess X factors going into tomorrow's game. I think the one thing I'm most excited for is number 26. I'm sure you've watched his pressers this week, but he there's just a glimmer in his eye. He looks excited. He looks ready.
I'm with you. I'm excited for Saquon tomorrow, and I have said it all week. I think he's gonna have a monster game, and I'm looking forward to it.
So you think it's gonna be all like running, or how much?
No.
No.
We're gonna throw. I just don't think we're gonna throw as much as we did the last time. Like last time I thought we threw a little bit too much. I think it's gonna be a bit more even, but I definitely think we're gonna take shots down the field. The Viking secondary is just not very good, so you have to try to take advantage of that.
Obviously all the talk's gonna be Jefferson and to a lesser extent Hawkinson. Do you worry about guys like Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, or how much do you worry about those guys to an extent against our defense? Or Yeah, against their defense.
Oh, I definitely worry about it. I mean, listen, our defense has a lot of holes in it. The biggest strength for our defense is the pass rush and the red zone. We've been great all year in the red zone. I think we're fifth, and I expect Minnesota to move the ball. They're going to move the ball 20-20. It's not going to be like we don't have that defense. We don't have that defense that can completely lock down an offense like Minnesota. That's not going to happen. They're going to move the ball 20-20, and hopefully when they get inside the 20, the defense is able to do what they've done all year. Which is hold them more often than not to field goals. And if they do that, we're going to stand a good chance to win. And we got to try to create a couple of turnovers. But make no mistake about it, Minnesota is going to move the ball on us. We don't have, a defense that like the 49ers. We don't have a dominating defense like that. Not yet. We need a few more pieces.
All right, and then I guess one last question. I know you got some conversation. Assuming everything goes as we envision it going and us beating Minnesota, and we go up to Philadelphia and play the Eagles, does that Eagles team remind you of maybe the Cowboys from 07? Like similar vibe, like 1 seed. We're going into their building. No one will give us a chance in that game.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. And plus the Cowboys had beaten us twice in the regular season that year. So similar vibes in that sense. It's always hard to beat a team for the third time. A little bit. But again, I hate comparing this team to the 07 team because the 07 team had so much more talent than this team. But yeah, yes, I could see the comparison. The Cowboys are the number 1 seed that year. They had beaten us both times. Not many people gave us any chance to beat the Cowboys going into that game. Let's get there first, and then we'll talk about it. We got to beat Minnesota first.
All right, and I guess score prediction. I'll go with all of that nervousness being said. Giants 31, Vikings 14. It's going to be one of those games.
Wow. So you got to score by a lot.
Giants.
All right, let's go, Kalen. Enjoy the game.
You know what? Justin Jefferson can get a garbage time touchdown. 31-21.
All right. Enjoy the game tomorrow, man.
I'll try.
Thanks for calling in, Kalen. And yeah, supposedly the game now is 30-27. I don't even have the game on right now, but supposedly the Jaguars just scored. Maybe they'll come back. What a choke job by the Chargers if they do. I mean, my God. He had 4 interceptions in the first half. That would be the ultimate choke job. I don't know if a quarterback's ever won a playoff game when he threw 4 into, especially the fact that, let me check, but I'm pretty sure I would have to look this up after if this does happen. I'm going to look at the turnovers. It's 5-0. The Jaguars turned the ball over 5 times, and the Chargers haven't turned it over once. And it's a 3-point game with 5:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Wow. I can't imagine that's ever happened before if they win that game. All right, let's get Peter on the chat, man. What's going on, Peter, man? Thanks for popping in.
What's up, Chris? How's it going?
What's going on, buddy?
I just want to give my take a bit on the game. I think the real X factor tomorrow is going to be Daniel Jones, purely because of the secondary of Minnesota. Usually I would say Barkley, but in a game like this, against a secondary like this, and based on what happened last time, I think it's going to be on Daniel Jones and how he can throw it and how he can use his legs.
I definitely think his legs are going to be a major factor. Listen, he's the quarterback. He's going to have to make plays. There's no doubt about it. So I agree with you. Daniel Jones is going to have a good game. He's got to take advantage of that Minnesota defense. And I think Jones, not just in this game, but all playoffs, I think Jones's legs, if we advance, is going to be the X factor in this offense. I think it's our best weapon at this point, is his legs. It's probably the best weapon in this offense right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I love what Dayball's done with him, Kafka, and what they've done with Jones and his legs. And I think it's a great mix with Barkley and Jones because Barkley's such a threat as well. But then it opens up with Jones on the running lanes.
Bosa got ejected from the game. Somebody just said in the chat. Wow, holy crap! So how you feeling going in?
I'm excited. I mean, I think it's going to be a close game. I haven't really seen that many playoff games. I've seen the one in 2016, 2011. Wasn't really around for that, so I'm really excited to see him in the playoffs. I love what Dayball's done with this team. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to Daniel Jones, and especially with Dory Jackson back and McKinney back, I think we're way more of a threat in the secondary than last time we faced these guys. So I'm just hoping they can pull this one out for me and for
I,
the whole fan base.
I have a good feeling tomorrow. I hope they win. I think they're going to. I'm picking them to win. And I think you're going to get to experience your first Giants. Would this be your first playoff win that you ever got to experience?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was pretty young last time in 2011, so I don't really remember much. But
So
yeah,
hopefully you get to experience this tomorrow. I think you're gonna. I think the Giants are gonna have a good effort tomorrow, and we're gonna get ready for the Eagles.
yeah, I'm hoping so too, man.
But thanks for calling in, man. Thanks for all the support you always show on the channel. And let's get this win tomorrow, buddy.
Oh yeah, have a nice night. Have
You
a
too,
nice
man.
time watching the game.
All right, buddy. 30-28. They went for 2? Holy crap. They went for 2? Hold on one second. I had the game on my phone. My phone's probably about to die, so I don't think I can watch it anymore. I don't have my box set up right now. They went for 2. But Rob, I just posted the link up a little while ago, but here's the link again. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on, though, but holy crap, man. Wow. Trevor, man, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? First of all, love the content, great stuff. Also got a shout out to all my other European fans out here. It's 5:30 in the morning, but it's playoff season, so we're out here, we're watching the games. You can't miss stuff like what the Jags are doing.
Wow, 5:30, man. I appreciate you for calling in.
I know there's a few others on the channel, so shout out to all of them. I just want to say a few things. I'll get through because I know you got a lot of people waiting in line. X factor for tomorrow is whoever lines up across from Zadarius Smith. Our receivers don't get much separation. We need that time. We need that half step. We need that half a second. Daniel needs that. So whoever's across from him, I know sometimes he's going to be on Evan Neal, sometimes he's going to be on Gluidsy. They move him around a lot. We'll see what happens there. So he's my X factor. I also want to shout out to Graham Gano, underappreciated guy. You know, you don't know what you got in a kicker until you have a bad kicker. Look at what the Chiefs got this year with Butker. It's so nice to have a reliable guy.
Dude, look at the Bears from a couple of years ago, right? With the double doink, like a kicker could ruin your season.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I just wanted to get a question on your side. What do you think was the difference between the Eagles last week and the Eagles 3 weeks ago? I mean,
it's a great question.
I mean, I was at that game 3 weeks ago, and it was terrible. It was painful.
Yeah.
Just getting blown out. What changed? I mean,
I think it's a couple things. One, I don't think Hurts is the same. I think he's still a little bit banged up, and I think they were a little bit cautious with him because if you noticed, they didn't use him as much as a runner as they have in the past. So I think they were trying to preserve his body for the playoffs. But two, I just think this team has grown. I think, and even though it was the backups, I think we've grown as a football team. I think we're just buying into the schemes, and the team has a lot more confidence than they did a few more weeks ago. I think that has something to do with it as well. I also think the Eagles may have obviously probably taken us a bit lightly because it was the third stringers. They thought they were going to be able to roll all over us. But what I'll say is when we have the starters in come playoff time, I think it'll be a much different result than it was the first time around. I don't think the Eagles are going to completely embarrass us. I think the Giants are going to put up a fight if we get there. We got to win tomorrow. But if we get there, I think it'll be a competitive game. I really do. We'll see because they got a lot of weapons on that team, an explosive offense. But I don't think the Eagles would blow us out. I think we would keep it competitive.
Yep. I'm not going to ask any questions about big picture Giant stuff now because what matters right now is the Minnesota game, and we got all the time after the Super Bowl to talk about that. So I'll leave those questions aside. I'll hopefully catch you on another stream sometime. I want to say my score prediction.
Yes.
I'm thinking 23-20, something around there. Lots of field goals with our red zone defense, and I think they're covered too. I mean, we can kind of pick them apart in the dink and dunk game, but I don't know if we can consistently pull out 13-play drives and 12-play drives, especially against that pass rush. I'm afraid
I agree.
of that.
I think we might have to have one of those drives in the game, but you can't expect to have multiple 15, 16-play drives. We're going to have some explosive plays to put up points. I agree.
Yep.
But I will say, I think you hit it on the head on the red zone. That could be the difference in this game. Both teams are really good in the red zone offensively. The Giants are 7th. I think the Vikings are 6th, or maybe they're 8th. Like they're around the same. On the other side, the Giants are 5th. The Vikings are like 22nd. So that may be the X factor in this game. Our red zone defense compared to theirs.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Luckily, I mean, I'm a believer in the primetime Kirk Cousins is not where it's at. So we're lucky we got him in the second slot. So hopefully that pays its dues. And I don't eat my words, but we'll see. I'll definitely have you and Bad Dog up on. I get the commentary off the main game, and I got to sync it up. It'd be nice if you guys could put a clock. You can do that. You can put up the scoreboard. You can show the scoreboard at the clock if you watch on your computer. If you're
How can you
streaming
do
it
that?
there. I don't know what you use to stream, but like if you go to like bootleg football and you look at how they stream Thursday night, they always have the clock where it is, and then it's much easier for us to sync up with you.
I
I don't
just
know
pulled
what
up
you.
the. I'm just watching this Charger game right now. I just pulled it up as I'm talking to you. Wow, this game's going out of the wire. But as
Yeah,
far as
that's why we say up. It's playoff football. You cannot miss this stuff. It does not matter if it's 5 interceptions and like 28-0 or whatever it was here. You got to watch it.
Jacksonville's got the ball back.
Yeah, no, they're
This
charging.
is crazy.
Yeah, it's
But no,
unbelievable.
you know what? Well, it's on Bad Dog's channel tomorrow, but I will look into that in the future, at least for my channel. And if we do get to the second round, I will look into putting the clock up. But Jacksonville's got the, and I'm delayed probably from other people because I'm watching it on the stream, but Jacksonville's got the ball in their own 33, 1st and 10 with 2:33 to go, down 3.
Yeah, you're exactly synced up with me. So,
what a choke job, man! And look at they're gonna win this game.
Yeah, Brandon Staley better lose his job. Not a fan of Brandon Staley. Even if they win this, come on, man. And you getting Joey Bosa's getting ejected. How can you manage? He's supposed to be a defensive guy. You can't get Joey Bosa ejected. Hey, I would love to sit here and talk the game all night, but I know you got a million people in line, so I'm gonna give up my spot so you can get other guys in the stream. If you have any troubles with that clock thing, I think we follow each other on Twitter. Send me a
shoot me
DM.
a message on Twitter, man. Give me the link. I'll definitely look into it.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to do it, but I can probably figure something out. All right. Have a nice night, man. Love the content. Keep it up. Can't wait for the off season. Love the podcast.
Yeah, man. I'm really looking forward to doing off-season content this year. But hopefully this playoff stretch continues. And thank you for all the support.
Yeah, man. See ya.
All right. That was awesome getting to talk to a guy from overseas. Let's bring on MYG 31. I'm going to pull up this game as I'm talking because I want to see what's going on. But what's going on, MYG 31?
Nothing, man. I was trying to get on earlier, but the chat was full, so I was like, all right, let me just like be in a chat room, like um put my score predictions. And right now, I could say it's 28-24. But with that being said, first I did a hate week on the Vikings and said that their defense, right? I mean, I'm not sold on their defense against us because the last time we scored like 20 something points against us, they have to use a 61 field goal to beat us. I said that in my videos. So it's not going to be no different this time when we get our full roster back and, you know, make sure we limit Justin Jefferson with yards, Adam Thielen, and definitely TJ Hawkinson, which I forgot to mention on my video. So to me, we had to eliminate this scheme and make sure we don't turn the ball over. If we do, that's all she wrote.
I agree. We can't beat ourselves tomorrow. And I don't think we will. I don't think we'll beat ourselves tomorrow. But that's why we lost last time. We turned the ball over 3 times, if you include the block
Mhm.
punt. And if we play a clean game tomorrow, I don't think there's any reason why we should lose this game. I really don't.
Right. Right.
But give me your final score tomorrow, man.
28-24. That's what I said.
That's right around where I
And
have it. I have it 27-23.
also, my X factor is Evan Neal because
That's
you know
mine.
why?
That's mine as well on the offensive side.
You know why? Because the last time we faced the Vikings, the knee haunted owned Evan Neal like crazy. And how much sacks Daniel Jones had? Like 6 or 7 sacks in that game? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but he was sacked a lot.
Yeah, and the interior offensive line was dreadful in that game too. With the start of John Feliciano, Mark Quincy, and did Nick Gates play in that game too?
I don't recall. I think he did, but I don't remember for sure. It was later in the season, so he probably did.
I think Brett Brereton playing that game also. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think in this draft or this offseason, we need to address the interior offensive line And the draft moving forward, you need to replenish that right tackle and that left tackle spot because, like they were saying the other day, someone was saying we need depth in our offensive line. I heard that at one of Fire's
We need depth all over,
side.
not just
Yeah,
the line.
exactly. Yeah, safety and everything. I mean, even though we made it playoffs this year, I think we're still a rebuilding team because we're not a finished product yet.
I'm gonna let you go, MYG, just because I want to watch the end of this game, and I'm gonna take the next
I'm
caller. But
sorry. I'm
thank you
sorry.
so much for all the support, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Be
I
good.
gotta go anyway. So
Be good, man. Thank you for calling in.
okay.
I'm gonna watch the end of this game alone. Well, you guys are probably ahead of me because, like I said, I'm watching it on the stream. But I'm gonna have some fun and call the play-by-play here. Minute 26 to go. 30-28. Chargers lead by 2. Jaguars got it at the 40 of LA. They just called a timeout. So this is the game. They're kind of, I don't know how they're kickers, but they're kind of in no man's land. Like it's a 58-yard field goal, or you go for a fourth and a half a yard. I think Peterson's making the right decision here. You go for it. If you pick up the first, you win the game. If you don't, the Chargers are going to win. I mean, that's basically what this comes down to on this play. Wow. Huge play here. Come to the line of scrimmage. Lawrence coming out under center. They got 3 men in the back. I'm sure they're going to push Lawrence forward. Instead, they hand off to Etienne. Etienne breaks a big run off the right side. Oh, my God. They're going to win this game. Etienne down to the 15. They have to use their second timeout. This game's over. Jacksonville's going to win. Oh, my God. I can't believe they won. Let me bring the next guy on. What's going on, Robbie, man? Thanks for popping in.
Hey, Chris. How you doing, man? Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. I was watching this game.
Yeah, no, good to see you, man.
Hey, you too, man. Appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, man. But, wow, what a comeback.
Yeah, right? I mean, my dad's a big Giants fan, too. I mean, we were just talking about this game, and I was like, of course Ingram is going off now. And he's like, yeah, F that piece of shit. I'm like, okay.
I had the Jaguars winning by 1 point, but I had a different score at 24-23.
I had the Chargers winning. I mean, when they were up 27-0, I was talking to my buddies, and I was like, wow, I can't believe this happened.
Doug Peterson, when they win this game, because this is a 37-yard field goal, Doug Peterson is going to look like a genius because he went for 2. Otherwise, this game goes to overtime if they kick the extra point.
Yeah, right. I mean,
had he missed that, he would have looked like a dumbass, but now he's going to look like a genius.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get Coach of the Year over Dable. I mean, I still don't think he should, but.
Wow. Holy crap, man. How do you lose a game where you win the turnover battle 5-0?
Yeah, right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Holy crap.
Really excited for tomorrow, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm super pumped up for tomorrow.
I mean, we haven't got to experience much of this at all. One question I did want to ask you, though, is so you can probably debate. I mean, not even really debate. Last year's roster probably was better than this year's. What do you think our record would have been last year had we had Dable?
Not great because Jones got hurt.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
I think we would have been better. We probably win the Falcons game, which we lost. We win we win the Washington game, which we lost, a close loss there. We probably would have won 6 instead of 4 before Jones got hurt. And then, once he got hurt, we weren't gonna. I don't care who the coach was. We weren't gonna win very many games with Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was more thinking like if Jones stayed healthy the whole year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, much better record.
Yeah,
much better record. And the Jaguars just won.
Yep, I just saw that.
Holy crap! There's a flag. It looked like it's going to be on the defense. This is going to stand. They're going to win. 31-30. Jacksonville just won.
Staley's got to go. That's an excuse.
That he should be fired.
Oh, absolutely.
He should be fired. How do you
That's
lose a game in which you win the turnover battle 5-0 and you have a 27-point lead?
it's ridiculous.
That somebody answer in the chat, because obviously I haven't been watching the game all along. Is that the biggest comeback history? Well, no, you had the Super Bowl 28-3,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had the Oilers game against the Bills. I don't remember what the score was in that. This may have eclipsed that. This is a
Yeah.
this is a
27-0. Yeah.
there's a 27-point discrepancy. 28-3 is 25 points. Is that the biggest comeback in playoff history?
Off the top of my mind, that's what I think.
Let me look at the Oilers-Bills comeback, because that was a big one. I remember watching that as a kid. Yeah, that was bigger. It was 35-3 in that game. So
Okay.
that was a 32-point discrepancy. So this is close. This is up there.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Wow. I'm shocked. Can't imagine how these Chargers fans feel, man. I would be so upset.
Let's just hope we win tomorrow. We don't feel like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I'm gonna let you go, man. Just give me a final score tomorrow.
You know what? I'm going to go 24-20 Giants.
I like it.
Let's
I
go,
like it.
man.
But thanks for calling in, buddy. Be good.
Absolutely. Love the content.
All right, man. Let's get to Mets. I know he's been waiting. What's going on, Mets?
Not much. I mean, I just got back from a wrestling event, which I was a little late tonight.
Where did you what did you watch?
Just most of the local indie guys.
Okay.
I mean, as for what I've been since the last one on the show, the Grossi.
I'm still laughing at Trevor, by the way, Eric Harrison. The guy threw 4 picks. They won the game. Good for him, but the guy threw 4 picks. But go ahead, man.
Through the past couple of weeks or so, I did the Jaguar Jet call, one of my worst calls, because I was doing it through the Twitch stream. The only good thing out of it was that the Grossi posse raided me again.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they like you. Grossi likes you.
Anyway, did my own call of the Giant Eagle game with a cold last week, I might want to point out. I mean, it was basically coughing and shivering almost the whole damn game. And I was basically begging not to start, not sit the starters. We sat the starters. I mean, we could have. I get why you wanted to say F you to Dallas, but we should have taken revenge for what the Eagles did to us in 20 in the finale that year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We should have taken revenge for that.
How you feeling going into this game?
Pretty confident. I mean, yes, we lost.
And that's a lot coming from you, because you're not usually confident.
I mean, yes, we lost to the Vikings on Christmas Eve, but when you look at the game, outside of a couple of it was 2 turnovers, not 3, unless you count turnovers on downs.
Right. Well, no, I count the block punt as a turnover.
Oh.
When I say 3, I'm including that. That's equivalent to a turnover.
But still, that was probably our most well-rounded and all-around best play, despite being a loss. Would you agree or not?
I think the Colts game was our best. I mean, I know it was the Colts, but
in regards to a loss.
Oh, in regards to a loss, 100% was our best. We played in a loss this year, yeah. I mean, let's think about our losses this year. I guess you could argue the Eagles last week with backups, but I'm not going to count that. The other Eagles loss, we got blown out. The Cowboys game, the first time around, we played horrible.
Second game, we got screwed.
Yeah, we didn't play very well in that game either. I in a loss, that was definitely the best we played.
Lions game, we got plagued with injuries.
Yeah.
And Seahawks game, it was just basically fumbling, playing butterfingers on special teams.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. The Minnesota game was one of the best games we played all year. We ended up losing, but outside of the stupid turnovers, we played a really good game.
Trevor Lawrence, first quarterback in history to throw 4 more picks in the first half of a postseason game and win.
Chargers choked.
What the fuck, Chris?
Chargers choked.
Get that right.
Chargers choked.
And another fraudulent team bites the dust. I mean, when you look at the Vikings, you can look at them as a team of frauds, because when you look at our records, Giants 9-7-1, point differential of a -6. You kind of expect that for a team with 9 wins, wouldn't you? To some levels.
Yeah, okay.
But the Vikings, 13 wins and 4 losses. Their point differential -3.
Yeah, because all their losses, they got destroyed, and all their wins were very close. They lost by 33 to the Cowboys.
37.
37 to the Cowboys. They got all their losses. They lost by like 14 points or more.
Well, I counted 11 with the loss to the Lions.
Okay, 11. I'm sorry, but that's the type of team they are. They've won close games.
True, and the question, you can't really say you're a top tier team if you keep getting blown to pieces by teams like the Eagles, like the Cowboys, and even the teams that failed to make the playoffs, like the Packers and the Lions.
Yeah.
That really puts you into question. On the other hand, with the Giants, you can't say the same about them either, because, yeah, most of their losses have been by, at least half their losses were by single digits. The only losses that came by doubles, Seattle, Philadelphia, Detroit, right?
Yeah. Mets, I'm just getting tired. So I'm gonna end the stream because I'm
27-17 New York.
You're like the fourth guy that predicted that score. So I hope you're right. I hope it's 27-17. I definitely want to get you and a lot of other people on after hopefully we win. We'll have a victory stream. But I got to rest up for tomorrow.
All right.
I'm probably going to go live. We'll see how I feel, but I'm probably going to go live midday tomorrow at like 12 for maybe an hour and a half just to get everybody amped up going into the game. I don't know if I'll take callers, but I'll probably be live for that. And then obviously be live on Bad Dogs tomorrow.
I'm not sure if I'm going to make my own call of the game tomorrow. Probably not.
Well, if you do, you do. But thank you for calling in. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Enjoy the playoffs. And let's beat Minnesota.
Right.
Be good, man. Fabian, I don't think I read this. Let me just make sure. He says, that's not just it. Imagine with 5 turnovers. Yeah, like I can't believe they lost that game. I don't care. People want to say Lawrence came back or whatever. That to me is choking away the game. It's more to do with the coach on the other side and the Chargers not putting that game away. I mean, Lawrence did throw 4 touchdowns, but he threw 4 picks. And the Chargers scored 3 points in the second half. 3 points in the second half. That's a choke job. How do you create 5 turnovers and don't turn it over once and you lose a football game? That's a choke job. And I had the Jaguars winning that game. And so I hit the point discrepancy on the head. I had 24-23 Jags. It was 31-30. I thought it'd be a really close game. I didn't think that when it was 27-0. But now the Jaguars are going to play. Well, it depends what happens, but I'm going to imagine they play the 1 seed because I'm going to assume both the Bengals and the Bills, who I think are the 2 and 3, are going to win because they're playing. I mean, they're playing the Ravens and the Dolphins with their backup quarterback. So if they both win, it sets up for the Bills to play the Bengals and the Chiefs to play the Jaguars. So more than likely, the Jaguars are going to get spanked in the second round. But what a comeback! Holy crap, man! If you're a Jaguars fan, that's your Super Bowl this year, no doubt about it. Stop, Chris. If DJ threw 4 picks and came back, you would be saying, oh, my God, DJ. Of course I would. But the Chargers blew that game. You have a 27-0 lead. How do you blow that game? That shouldn't happen. It should not happen. Let's see what we got. The chat was funny. They're always funny when they call them for the video calls. I still got a couple guys back there, but I'm exhausted. I'll make sure to get everybody in next time. It's 11:38. I just wanted to come on, talk Giants. A lot of people asked me on Twitter today to go live before the game. I'll probably be live tomorrow, leading up to the game. But I'm excited for tomorrow. Can't wait for tomorrow. And yeah, I agree with this. By the way, Staley should be fired. I've never been a Staley fan, but 27-0, and you got Justin Herbert as your quarterback, and you lose, he should be fired. But guys, be good. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be good.